Chapter 332, Old Monsters Rampage, 1. Editors, Z0 Rel, Blumengawade, Resnut. Join the Discord for chapter updates and important news. Chapter 332, Old Monsters Rampage, 1. Padded. A beam of light engulfs everything. Junjie is renowned. A genius who reached the integration stage in just 5,000 years. A prodigy of metal, attribute methods, and, along with Han 1 and Joel Make, a monster symbolizing the human race's martial prowess. Quadragigic, golden scales sprout all over Junjie's body as he swings his hand at me. Thud. I neutralize the power with the All-Heaven Sword, contain Junjie's force within it, and then use that very power to repel Junjie. He makes an irritated expression and reaches out towards me. Quadragigic. As if space itself twists, I suddenly find myself caught in Junjie's grasp. Simultaneously, Joel Make, clad in pure white bone armor from head to toe, descends upon me from above. I twist my body in midair, positioning Junjie's body in front of Joel Make, and quickly retreat to escape his grip. Quong. Junjie fails to dodge Joel Make's attack in time, and Joel Make strikes him. An enormous shockwave seems to echo, and Junjie's body plummets through Heavenly Human Island, crashing into the ground below. Egu, that must hurt. The next moment, Joel Make rushes at me while extending their fist. It'll be dangerous if that hits. Thud, thud. In a split second, I slash their elbow with my sword and infuse an energy wave. I then strike their palm to maximize the force of the energy wave through their elbow. Quong. Their arm explodes in midair before it can even touch me. Quong. Kook. However, despite not making direct contact, the sheer resulting pressure blasts me out of Heavenly Human Island. Joel Make. Quawa. They roar like a beast, infusing energy into the bone armor that envelopes their entire body. A tail made of bone sprouts from the armor. Claws resembling those of a beast emerge from the bone armor on their arms. Joel Make, a late integration stage loose cultivator, is, like Han 1 and I, a heaven and earth dual cultivation practitioner. Due to this, they are considered on par with grand perfection integration cultivators like Junjie, making them one of the representatives of the human race's martial prowess, that is Joel Make. Their self-created heaven and earth dual cultivation method, bone armor treasured origin art, is notorious for extracting the bones of defeated enemies, storing them within their body, and fusing them with their own body when needed. It's a bizarre technique where until their bone armor is completely shattered, it's almost impossible to inflict any wounds on them. But perhaps furious over their arm being destroyed by my earlier attack, they gather strength in their entire body and prepare to leap at me. Just as I'm about to take my stance, an overwhelming force presses down on me. Quadadudaduk. Junjie. From below Heavenly Human Island. Junjie, who had been driven into the ground by Joel Make's strike, reemerges and presses down on me with his strength. How sturdy, to be unscathed after taking a strike from a heaven and earth dual cultivation practitioner. As I think this, Joel Make leaps at me again, swinging their bone-armored hand. Quong. A tremendous force strikes my body. But in the next moment, Joel Make emits a startled intent. Wawoom. It's because of my hand gripping their arm. From my forearm, which begins to shine with starlight, an immense force erupts. Simultaneously, ghostly energy surges from my entire body, revealing 19 heads. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Blood tears fall from each of the 19 heads, blooming into black blood tears flowers. Realizing something is wrong, Joel Make tries to pull away, but I grip their arm tightly, nearly crushing it as I speak. Where do you think you're going? Kayawea. Uhahea. Huaweawa. As the black blood tears flowers bloom, unbearable screams fill heaven and earth. Joel Make, realizing the danger, cuts off their bone armor like a lizard shedding its tail and barely escapes the range of my curse. Chua. The bone armor quickly rots and melts away under the power of the curse. Chijijijic. Circuits are engraved all over my body. Quagajijic. Once again, Junjie tries to restrain me from afar, pressing me down with his attraction force. I look at Junjie and step into the air. Pong. In the next moment, I'm right in front of Junjie. With the All-Heaven Sword overlaid on my arm, I swing at him with all my might. Kugwagwagwang. The ground trembles. Below Heavenly Human Island, in the valley where the Grand Nirvana Temple is located, I see a nascent soul stage cultivator screaming and running away with all her might. The ground cracks in several places, and the mountains and fields are being reshaped. Chua. Shockwaves spread throughout the entire Cloud Island archipelago that's covered in mist and clouds, tearing the clouds into a circular pattern. Sturdy. However, I frown as I see Junjie standing there unfazed despite taking my full-powered strike. A golden armor encases Junjie's body like scales, and from that armor emanates a magnetic field. Did he use the magnetic field as armor to diffuse the impact? Those who practice metal attribute methods have a much stronger attraction force than others. Among the 5 elements, metal is expressed by Qian, Chan, and Dui, Doi, in the 8 trigrams. Qian is yang, yang. So in yin-yang, yang energy or light, gong, is synonymous with metal. In the 5 elements, earth is expressed by the Kuan trigram and the Jin trigram, meaning ground and mountain. In the 5 elements, wood is represented by the Zhun trigram and the Sun trigram, meaning lightning and wind. Ground and mountain, lightning and wind are all recognized attributes. Then what does the Dui trigram represent? Dui represents a pond. In short, it signifies a pond attribute. So some might wonder, what on earth does pond attribute mean? Quadragigic. Cowork. Utilizing the immense magnetic force derived from the metal attribute, Junjie directs an overwhelming gravitational force onto me. Quadadududuk. The ground caves in, and in an instant, the place where I stand turns into an enormously deep basin. Just add water, and it becomes a pond. The Dui trigram. In other words, the pond attribute is just an indirect way to describe the magnetic force of the metal attribute. I'll turn you into a meatball, you Heart Tribe spy. Wanting to turn me into a Seo Unhyun meatball, Junjie's gravity concentrates on a single point. However, I lift my 19 heads and ignite ghost fire. Flinch. Junjie recoils at my fierce gaze. Kuguguguk. From the depths of the enormous gravitational pit, I begin climbing up by digging my hands into the pit walls. Crazy he's moving within that? This monster-like guy. Quang. Gol make lands beside Junjie. Focusing their strength on their bone armor, they transform it. Crunch. The shape of their bone armor changes. Gol make, who has transformed their bone armor into a muscular beast-like form, nods at Junjie. Alright, go ahead. Hold on. At that moment, Wai Ryangxian and Wai Su arrive at the scene using the flying escape technique. Wai Su appears to be casting some sort of spell on Gol Make's bone armor. Accepting Wai Su's spell, Gol Make nods and drops down into the basin below. Quang. They extend both feet towards me trying to climb up, kicking me in the face. I try to withstand it, but in the end, I fall back down into the basin. Gol Make cracks their neck from side to side and says, "Come at me, you spy." Haha, so you're confident in your raw strength too, huh? Keying. The circuit begins to run fiercely as it begins to glow. My 19 heads illuminate as my entire body is covered in starlight. We each take a step towards each other. Crunch, crunch, crunch. With each step, my foot sinks into the ground due to Junjie's gravity. And finally, when we reach in front of each other, Huaruru. Wai Ryangxian swings his fan, turning the basin below into a sea of fire. Simultaneously, Wai Su blows wind downwards like a bellow, creating an immense inferno in the basin below. It's a flame that could burn an ordinary 4-axis stage cultivator's very soul. But I smirk. What's this? Bathwater. For someone like me, whose soul is already being roasted by karmic fire, this heat is no more than lukewarm tea. Though my skin is blistering and cooking, it doesn't hurt much, so I just laugh in Gol Make's direction. They appear unaffected by the flames, likely protected by Wai Su's spell. Seeing my nonchalance, they burst into a hollow laugh as if feeling incredulous. Crazy bastard, do you not feel pain? As if, boom. I swing my fist at Gol Make. The bone armor around their head is sliced off. Gol Make regenerates their bone armor and swings their fist towards me as well. Pop. One of my heads shatters, and I'm left with a wound from Gol Make's punch. They squint at the sword wound, looking annoyed through the gaps of their bone armor. Damn Heart Tribe brat. You practice heaven and earth dual cultivation, yet you're so fragile. Boom. I swing my hand at them again. Chwak. A sword wound etches itself onto Gol Make's body. We exchange blows. No matter how much we accelerate, the insane gravity slows our movements, making it inevitable that we get hit. I inflict sword wounds on them, and they shatter my heads. Crack. Ho. It seems that Wai Ryangxian's flames are not meant to roast me, but to deplete the surrounding heaven and earth spiritual energy, as no more spiritual energy is flowing in. On the other hand, Gol Make in front of me still looks vigorous because they have a lot of heaven and earth spiritual energy stored within their body. Next, Young Yun and Gi Jin join the fray from above. Kugugugugu. Young Yun's Dharma treasure, the Heaven-Earth Demon Subduing Pagoda, falls from the sky. Quang. The Heaven-Earth Demon Subduing Pagoda grows enormous, increasing its weight over my head as if trying to crush me to death. Gi Jin takes out a cauldron-shaped Dharma treasure and opens its lid. Chururik. The liquid contained in the cauldron spills into the basin. Chwalalalik. In an instant, the entire basin is filled with the stench of decay. Fungus Jin. Gi Jin's spell, said to be developed by stealing the secret arts of the fungal bone race of the 6 major heaven tribe races, spreads throughout the basin, and purple spores begin to sprout, all over my body. The hyphae extend, sapping my strength while empowering Joel Make. I can see why Ryang Xian and why Su preparing another spell. If this continues, I might really be defeated. This is the power of the human race. This is the human race. When they combine forces, they can take down even a late integration stage cultivator in an instant. If Han 1 was here, I would probably have been captured and turned into something like a Co Unhyun integration pill. No, even now, if they really start using their full power, it will be impossible to resist. But that's if they use their full power. You're not using your domains. I smirk, looking around with my 38 eyes. Though they appear calm at my words, their intents are greatly shaken. All of you are unleashing powerful attacks, trying to end this as soon as possible. Isn't that right? Shut up, die. Gol makes strikes at me again. Quong. I finally can't hold out any longer and fall to my knees. The Heaven-Earth demon subduing pagoda presses down on me with even more force, and I am eventually crushed beneath it. As I lay pinned, I sense the integration stage grand cultivators gathering their strength, each preparing a powerful strike. The Heaven-Earth demon subduing pagoda becomes semi-transparent, crossing onto a higher plane. Their attacks will penetrate through the pagoda and strike me. However, I smirk. Impressive. Countless beams of light head towards me. Woodaduk. Forcing my hands to move, I infuse them with black and white energy. The barrier of yin-yang and the 5 elements wraps around me. And then, an explosion of light erupts within the basin. Junjae is panting heavily. Did we finish him? We should have. No matter what, there's no way he can withstand the full power attacks of integration stage grand cultivators. Why Ryang Xian wipes the sweat from his forehead as he speaks. Damn, I only used my strength for a while, and I'm already this exhausted. It's because you overexerted yourself trying to find information to avoid the end and ended up staring directly at the true immortal. You were too greedy. But once this injury heals, all the surviving integration stage grand cultivators of the Heaven Tribe will gain powerful lightning divine powers, so it wasn't just greed. The only races where all the grand cultivators survived after staring directly at the true immortal are the tall tree race and our human race. That is also true. While they are chatting, Waisu moves her hand. Huai Thai. The wind blows, clearing the dust cloud. Standing tall in the dust is Gol Make, still clad in their bone armor. Cultivator Gol, please retrieve the spy's body and soul. We'll interrogate him further at the Grand Cultivator meeting. But to think that someone from the human race learned both the heaven and earth dual cultivation method and the heart path method. He's quite the genius. Even so, given that he learned the heart path method, he must have been influenced by Jangik. His ideologies are definitely contaminated. So we must purify his thoughts through suggestion and bring him back as a proper member of the Heaven Tribe. Junjae converses with Wai Ryang Xian, then glances back at Joel Make in the basin. Fellow cultivator, just what are you? Then, Joel Make's voice is heard. Arana. The next moment, the bone armor covering Joel Make shatters, revealing a blood-soaked woman with white hair and red eyes collapsing to the ground. Cultivator Joel Make. Junjae is startled and tries to fly to her. However, a monstrous being of starlight with 19 heads emerges from within the dust cloud, laughing. If this were a prolonged battle, I would have surely lost. But it seems everyone's condition is rather poor, seeing that you are all reluctant to even deploy your domains. You bastard. Kaguguguk. Junjae once again emits a magnetic field, pressing down on Co Unhyun. However, the gravitational force is far weaker than before. Co Unhyun, crossing his arms, speaks. Earlier, I had no choice but to respond since you all attacked me. But continuing this fight is meaningless. I wish to sit in the position of a human race grand cultivator. Considering that everyone's condition has deteriorated after facing that being, wouldn't it be mutually beneficial to accept me, a late integration level force, as a grand cultivator? At that statement, Wai Ryang Xian, Wai Su, and Junjae simultaneously glare. Nonsense. You're asking us to accept a Heart Tribe spy as a grand cultivator of the human race Grand Alliance. Am I not part of the human race? In theory, the Heaven Tribe can master all 3 methods of heaven, earth, and heart. So why this discrimination? The ones who are born amidst unspeakable abuse and torment are the Heart Tribe, and the same goes for the human race. In theory, the Heaven Tribe can master all 3 methods, but any human who learned the Heart Path method would be influenced by the Heart Tribe's ideology. They would go around denying slavery and engaging in absurd liberation movements. How can we trust them? Is that so? Clicking his tongue at Junjae's attitude, Co Unhyun grabs Joel Make, who collapsed before him, by the neck and lifts her up. Though Co Unhyun says nothing, Junjae glares at him with rage in his eyes. You vile. Taking a hostage. No. Seeing Joel Make captured, Wai Ryang Xian and Wai Su also close their eyes tightly. Leader, we have no choice. For now, we should accept that monster's proposal. Cultivator Joel makes life is at stake. Kook, Val Heart Tribe bastard. No, wait. I haven't even said anything. In the end, Junjae clenches his eyes shut, deciding to protect Joel Make from the Mad Heart Tribe spy monster who walks around with the heads of 18 4-axis stage cultivators of the human race on his shoulders. Fine. I will allow you to take the position of a Grand Cultivator. However, you may not interfere in the affairs of the human race Grand Alliance, holding only the title. No place will be given to you on Heavenly Cauldron Mountain, and all resources allocated to you must be used by you alone. If we find any indication that you are transferring resources of the human race to the Heart Tribe territory, you will be arrested and put on trial immediately. If you cannot accept this, we will end you even at the cost of Cultivator Joel Makes life. I accept, but if you accept, then hand over the hostage immediately. The Human Race Grand Alliance, exchanging Joel Make, who was taken as a hostage, ultimately accepts Seo Eun-hyun as a Grand Cultivator. Chapter 333, Old Monsters Rampage, 2. Translator, Translating Novice. Editors, Z0 Rel, Blue Mango Ade. Join the Discord for chapter updates and important news. Hugh, I sigh after somehow receiving the title of Grand Cultivator. The difficulty has increased so much since the disappearance of Tae Yeol-jon. Moreover, if the title of Grand Cultivator is something that makes the Human Race Grand Alliance so wary, it's almost as if there's no point in even having it. Nevertheless, had I stayed still, the integration stage Grand Cultivators who received word from Han 1 would have continued to pursue me. By obtaining the Grand Cultivator qualification, I managed to prevent that from happening, and for now, that is enough to be satisfied with. I used the voice transmission talisman to contact Hong Fan. Hong Fan, come to the area below Heavenly Human Island with John Myung-hoon. I wait for Hong Fan while recovering my spiritual power in the basin created by Junjae. Since I've become a Grand Cultivator again, the next steps are simple. First, rescue Kim Yun, and then, either by kidnapping Kang Min-hee or by some other means, prevent her from going berserk as the ghost guiding Holy Mother. Also, I have some questions for Yunwei. At that moment, lightning flashes. Karurum. As if the red lightning is wriggling, John Myung-hoon descends with his arms crossed in front of me. Looks like you've done something incredible again. He clicks his tongue while looking around. I'm quite the busy person. Anyway, I look at John Myung-hoon's feet. He has 6 shadows. You've almost fully learned the 6 extremes in Thunder Body. Yeah, I've mastered the lightning path part, but the curse and ghost path parts are difficult, so I haven't fully grasped them. The 6 extremes in Thunder Body is a devilish art that combines the curse method, ghost path method, and the lightning path method. It involves infusing ghostly energy into one's nascent soul through the 6 symbols of curses: violent death, disease, worry, poverty, evil, and weakness. By interpreting the ghostly energy and the life force within oneself as yin and yang, yin lightning is then formed. This is the essence of the 6 extremes in Thunder Body. However, if one has already practiced the lightning path method, it is said that you only need to taint the internal lightning energy with the curse symbols to convert it into yin lightning. Yin lightning is originally formed through curses and ghostly energy, but John Myung-hoon is cultivating the 6 extremes in Thunder Body in a peculiar way by somehow first generating yin lightning and then forming curses and ghostly energy based on it. How does he even do that? I click my tongue at the absurdity of the heavenly golden Thunder Body and speak. I'd like to explain our plan going forward. What is it? For now, our basic goal is to advance our cultivation. In the process, let's gather our colleagues like Kim Yun, Kang Min-hee, and Oh Hyun-suk. What about Deputy Oh Hyeseo? I have some information on her. She's currently doing well, so there's nothing to worry about. Well, if you say so, it should be fine. I explained to John Myung-hoon what we need to do. I'll rescue Kim Yun. You go rescue Hyun-suk, Hyung-nim. I mean the chief. He's in the True Devil Realm right now, and the Grand Cultivators of the True Devil Realm should currently be pushing against the human race. He should be retreating, so assist Hyung-nim's retreat as quickly as possible. How quickly? There's a high probability that the Black Dragon King Hyen Eum will call upon something to descend into the True Devil Realm. Do it as quickly as possible before he enters. Of course, I can handle the Black Dragon King if he arrives, but better safe than sorry. If the Black Dragon King doesn't come, there's no need for Azure Tiger Saint to sacrifice himself. Well, got it. I'll do that. Good. Then I'll rescue Kim Yun in a little while. Hong Fan, come with me for a moment. There's something I need to confirm with you. Yes, understood. After asking John Myung-hoon to rescue Oh Hyun-suk, I take Hong Fan out of the basin. Follow me. Pot. Using the ground shrinking technique, I take Hong Fan towards the place where the woman from the Grand Nirvana Temple had fled earlier. Pot, pat it. How many dozen li do we cover? I finally detect her presence. The woman from the Grand Nirvana Temple had used the Earth Escape technique to hide about 200 li away from the battlefield between me and the Grand Cultivators. Kugaguk. I use attraction force to pull her out from where she's hiding underground. Hi eek. Seniors, please spare me. Even if you turn me into a pill, my cultivation and Buddhist family methods won't help in increasing your realm. As soon as she's pulled to the surface and sees us emitting attraction force, she collapses and screams in terror. Her reaction is vastly different from the boldness of the previous lives, Tae Yeol-jon. I look at Hong Fan and ask, Hong Fan, what do you think of this woman? Hong Fan strokes his beard as he looks at her, then glances up at me with a puzzled expression. She's a woman that smells. It seems she doesn't wash. I apologize. Is Master perhaps considering taking her as a concubine? Shea. I feel a chill run down my spine for some reason. Hong Fan's reaction has changed. Hong Fan. Yes. Don't you have any other thoughts? She seems to have cultivated some kind of Buddhist family method, and the spiritual power of that method looks a bit unusual. He seems completely uninterested. Hong Fan is treating her like an inanimate object. No, not that. When you look at this woman, do you not feel anything like wanting to marry her or suddenly confessing your love? I ask, observing Hong Fan closely. However, Hong Fan responds with a rather dumbfounded expression. And Master, no matter if it is your will, marriage is a significant event in life, so aren't your views on marriage different from those of humans since you're a centipede demon? Upon hearing that Hong Fan is a centipede demon and our conversation about marriage, the woman from the Grand Nirvana Temple turns pale. As seniors, I don't know which part of me is appealing, but I do not have any confidence in satisfying a centipede demon senior. Please let me go. Her reaction is also different. In the previous life, even though she didn't accept Hong Fan's courtship, she still blushed and felt a flutter in her heart. However, this life's her is genuinely terrified and repulsed at the thought of marrying a centipede demon. And Hong Fan, seeing her expression, frowns as if he also finds her displeasing. I apologize, Master. Even though I am a centipede, having spent so much time with you, I have been greatly influenced by the human race's concepts. And above all, the smell is too off-putting. Even if you told me to eat her. Hike. Please don't eat me. Even if you told me to eat her, the smell would make me spit her out. Master, you don't really intend to marry me to her, do you? Hong Fan and the women of the Grand Nirvana Temple look at me with desperate eyes. Seniors, I am a committed single, and I have decided not to get married. Besides, as you already know, my body is smelly, and I'm very lazy. I can't even do anything. Master, you may find it funny coming from a centipede, but I really want to make a loving connection and get married. So that one is a bit. I nod, holding my head. I understand. I wasn't telling you to get married. Thank you, Senior. Thank you, Master. Only then do the two bow to me with joy. Well, since we're here anyway, show me some of your Buddhist family methods. Buddhist family methods? Yes, the ones left in the Grand Nirvana Temple. Oh, as it happens, I brought all my possessions with me during the natural disaster, so I have them right here. She uses the Earth Escape technique to pull up a bundle from underground. How poor must you be to not even have a storage scroll? I click my tongue as I watch her packing her belongings into a bundle like a mortal from the lower world, without even a common storage magic artifact. It seems that everything she owns is in that small bundle. As she rummages through the bundle, she pulls out 3 jade slips that are worn and frayed from use. I examine the jade slips with a stiff face. They're different. These methods are different from the Buddhist family methods I learned in my past life, which could be cultivated up to the integration stage. These ones are methods that reach their limits at the grand perfection nascent soul stage. Of course, names like the 7 brilliances kings remain the same. The golden body heavenly king, red bead extinguishing heavenly king, lapis lazuli protecting heavenly king, silver basket heavenly king, tridacna vast cold heavenly king, obsidian demon heavenly king, along with the concept of the future king. And the symbols they represent match the explanations given by Tae Yeol-jon. But I find something odd. Hey, what happens to the 7 brilliances kings after they save all sentient beings? Are you referring to the 7 brilliances kings? What was it? Seemingly unable to recall the content of the Buddhist family method she learned, she scratches her head in thought. As I frown, Hong Fan threatens her in front of me. Do you not see the master is curious? Speak quickly. She shrinks and speaks as if she just remembered. Hi Hayek. I apologize. The 7 brilliances kings, after saving all sentient beings, are said to shed their forms within the lotus. Shed their forms within the lotus? What happens next? After that, there's no further transmission. What is the relationship between the future king and the 7 brilliances kings? I'm not sure. Crack. As veins bulge on my forehead, she speaks with a tearful face. As senior, It's not that I can't remember. I really haven't learned it. In the first place, the future king is merely a symbol personifying future hope and doesn't hold a significant place in Buddhist family methods. Well, depending on the region, there are stories passed down that the future king is the master, disciple, or relative of the seven brilliances kings, or that they have no relation at all. But these are all baseless. There's not much interest in the relationship between the future king and the seven brilliances kings. We just regard them as heavenly kings dedicated to their respective domains. No relationship, you say? Yes, that is what my master taught me. Then why did Taeyuljon speak to me with such certainty about the future king? Are these all the methods of the Grand Nirvana Temple? Yes. Are there any methods that can reach the integration stage? Pardon? Haha. If there were, wouldn't I have already become a grand cultivator? I apologize. I didn't mean to be sarcastic to you, senior. She scratches her head and jokes, but quickly bows her head and shrinks back as Hong Fan sends a cold glare her way. These are all the methods passed down in the Grand Nirvana Temple. I've never even seen any methods that reach the integration stage. All right, I understand. I need these Buddhist family methods for my study, so may I take them? It would be an honor, senior. It would be great if a cultivator of your high realm could master them. And perhaps. And, if possible, could you accept me as your disciple? At those words, Hong Fan clicks his tongue and waves his hand. Master, in my opinion, this woman is smelly, seems to lack talent, and doesn't have the will. You should not accept her. Receiving Hong Fan's annoyance, she prostrates herself flat on the ground. I apologize. I have overstepped my boundaries. Then, since you're taking the Buddhist family methods, if you could at least mention that you got them from our Grand Nirvana Temple. Please forget it. Now that I think of it, it seems presumptuous as well. Crack. Hong Fan, seemingly angry, lets out a breath of poisonous energy. Master, because you show mercy, this woman keeps trying strange things through you. Despite being lazy, untalented, and smelly, she is cunning and shameless in this manner. At Hong Fan's continued words, she looks like she is about to faint. It might even be better to kill her. It seems her attempt to use me to promote the Grand Nirvana Temple has seriously offended Hong Fan, who rarely shows such anger. Enough. Don't do that. I wave my hand. Though I don't like her trying to use me, I'm not angry because it seems she is trying to revive the Grand Nirvana Temple. I will speak well for your Grand Nirvana Temple, so don't worry. And this is payment for the Buddhist family methods. I throw her a storage magic artifact filled with spirit stones, and she prostrates herself in gratitude. I head towards the heavenly human island with Hong Fan, carrying the Buddhist family methods. I plan to go to Kimyan. The 8 grand cultivators became 7, and the 8 fairy tales became 7 as well. The 2 events are related. I grit my teeth. Just what is going on? I glance at Hong Fan, who is following me. Today, I am certain from the way Hong Fan treated her. Hong Fan didn't love the nun. He was infatuated with the entity that possessed that woman. Just who is the entity that impersonated Taeyuljon, and why did Hong Fan go mad, even defying my orders to confess his love? And if I had practiced those Buddhist family methods that reached the integration stage given to me by that being, what would have become of me? With these complex thoughts, I head towards the Mad Lord. Chapter 334, Old Monsters Rampage, 3. Translator, Translating Novice. Editors, Z0rel, Blue Mango Ade. Join the Discord for chapter updates and important news. Now, I'll go to the Mad Lord to rescue Kim Yun, block the Black Dragon King, and save Oh Hyun Suk with John Myung-hoon, and finally, kidnap Kong Min-hee from the side path. After formulating my plan, I step onto the teleportation array to move to the area where the Mad Lord is currently located. Pat it. Arriving at the teleportation array of a foreign race, I head towards the Mad Lord. Pat it. Using the ground shrinking technique, I reach the Mad Lord's location far faster than before. At this rate, I won't need John Myung-hoon's returning lightning spell to escape. I wonder how long it would take to win in a direct confrontation with the Mad Lord. Pondering, I calculate my strength against the Mad Lord's. At this point, the Mad Lord's power is already on par with the Human Race Grand Alliance's Grand Cultivator Association. Not the injured and weakened Grand Cultivator Association, but the fully powered one. I should avoid a direct confrontation. I don't want to be captured and become General CO for another 1,000 years. Being Emperor CO is one thing, but being General CO is a bit much. With these idle thoughts, I arrive near the wonderfully mysterious fortress and gather my spiritual power. Chorak, Chorurum. The spirit sealing bodkin spell wraps around my hands. Silver chains appear between my hands. Can this heal him? It had a temporary effect on Kong Min-hee, but somehow, I feel it would be useless. Can the Mad Lord's madness be compared to Kong Min-hee's? Of course, the cracks in Kong Min-hee's mind might grow larger and turn her into the ghost guiding Holy Mother in the future, But at this point, the cracks aren't significant, so I can suppress them with the spirit sealing bodkin. But the Mad Lord's madness is already at an advanced level. It could never be treated with just the spirit sealing bodkin. Of course, now that I can use hard essence, I have confidence that I can temporarily halt the Mad Lord's madness by striking at his hard essence. But that's all. It might have been more effective than the Sea of Righteousness and Mountain of Grace for Kong Minhee, but for the Mad Lord, it's even less useful than the latter. That is the spirit sealing bodkin. TSK, it's a shame. Feeling slightly regretful, I disperse the spirit sealing bodkin spell. Then, revealing my concealed presence, I move to the front of the wonderfully mysterious fortress and shout, "Greetings, Elder. I am the one named Seo. I have something I wish to present to the Elder, hence I have come here." A familiar voice responds, "Oh my, have you come to become General Seo? How admirable." I cover my left hand with the White Orchid Blessing incantation and my right hand with the Een Soul Ghost incantation. Great Mountain. Flash. Splitting Emperor. Quagwagwagwagwa. Light explodes brilliantly. A massive hole is torn in one side of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. The Mad Lord's circuits operate on the outside of the wonderfully mysterious fortress, using spiritual energy to set up multiple defensive formations. But the Great Mountain Splitting Emperor technique scatters chi itself into 7 parts. No matter how the energy is used for defense, it will just be dispersed. Perhaps it's because the Mad Lord's circuits and the Great Mountain Splitting Emperor technique are so incompatible. Thanks to that, I can see the Mad Lord inside the wonderfully mysterious fortress, holding her hand and staring at me with a stunned expression. You bastard. Howdery. The Mad Lord's eyes roll back, and he begins to tear at his fingers wildly. She and other Grand Cultivator-level puppets start crawling out of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. But I, with a blank expression, grasp the starting form with my eyes gleaming. All Heaven's Sword. Single strike. Not even she can stop it. This strike, fully immersed in the plane of soul, penetrates the Mad Lord's heart essence, momentarily suppressing his madness. This won't hold for long. I sense the sorrow, anger, pain, and love dormant inside the Mad Lord. The emotions are boiling chaotically, making it impossible to calm his heart essence through any means. All I can do is temporarily help him regain his sanity. While feeling this, I notice something strange in the Mad Lord's heart essence. Wait, it's strange. Is it because I have reached this realm and entered his heart essence? I can discern something. The Mad Lord, could it be? I grit my teeth as I sense the clue to the Mad Lord's madness. I also understand why Seo Huiol couldn't cast the tainted soul filling the heavens on the Mad Lord. Have you entered within me? The Mad Lord, now rational, sits in the control room and senses my heart essence. Yes, but it won't last long. I figured, and if you've entered my heart, you must be feeling it now. Yes. Until now, I thought the Mad Lord was suffering from madness due to the influence of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. Indeed, the Mad Lord was confirmed to be influenced by the wonderfully mysterious fortress to some extent. But today I found out, Elder isn't suffering from madness because of the wonderfully mysterious fortress. The Mad Lord gives a bitter smile at my words. It's merely my karma. You need not concern yourself. Anyway, what's the reason for all this commotion you caused to come here? To take your disciple with me. At my words, the Mad Lord nods. I see. She seemed to be meeting someone in her dreams whenever she sleeps. That turned out to be you. The Mad Lord seems to know I met Kim Yun in her dreams before, nodding his head. Take her. But be careful. I will eventually try to find that child again. Because my life's goal can only be realized through her. I will keep that in mind. And, looking into the Mad Lord's eyes, I speak. Until Yun can achieve your goal with her own strength, I will nurture her. The Mad Lord's goal was Yun's play. Kim Yun operating the wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon with her vast consciousness to control the wonderfully mysterious fortress to activate Yun's play is the Mad Lord's purpose. The Mad Lord nods and says, "Good, I entrust her to you." And the Mad Lord takes out something resembling a magic artifact from his bosom and swiftly modifies it. That is, just like when the past life's Mad Lord imbued her arm with enlightenment. He is engraving enlightenment into that magic artifact. This is possible now because my higher realm allows the Mad Lord to remain sane for a longer period. The bee puppets bring Kim Yun over. Iyun Appa. Kim Yun. As Kim Yun looks at me in surprise, the Mad Lord speaks to her. This is something I can only say now that my mind is clear, so I will say it now. She seems bewildered, finding strange the sight of the sane Zhou Yun's appearance. Zhou Yun hands her the magic artifact imbued with enlightenment and says, "I'm sorry for everything until now. From now on, be happy. No more words are needed. He is already relapsing into madness, and everything necessary is contained in that magic artifact." I approach Kim Yun. put my arm around her shoulders, and bow to Jo Yun. Thank you. Now then, before Kim Yun can fully grasp the situation, I use the ground shrinking technique to leave the place. Jo Yun is reverting to the Mad Lord. There's no more time to waste. Pat it. Using the ground shrinking technique, the flying escape technique, all heaven's sword, gliding technique, and every other movement technique I know of, I flee from the Mad Lord. Covering thousands of li in an instant, I feel the heart essence avatar I implanted in the Mad Lord being torn apart by his raging mob-like madness. The Mad Lord has completely returned, but the distance is too great for him to continue pursuing. Out of all the times I rescued Yun before, this is the safest rescue. Kim Yun, still slightly bewildered by the sudden turn of events, blinks her large eyes. Yuna, are you confused? Finding her expression somewhat amusing, I chuckle and ask, is this a dream? I gently pinch the still dazed Kim Yun's cheek, and together board the teleportation array to Heavenly Human Island. This isn't a dream. Now then, shall we go to Black Ghost Valley and take a look at the side path? Having rescued Kim Yun, it's time to save Kong Minhee. Earth Tribe, True Dragon Alliance, Serving Command Arc. The hidden layer of the Serving Command Arc. There, a kindly smiling sea dragon cultivator and a woman in white clothes with a smile are playing a game of Go. So, what is it that you want me to help with? The woman in white, Oh hi SEO, asks with a smile to the sea dragon cultivator, Seo Huiol. It's nothing much. I just need you to investigate the past of a person I'm monitoring. Oh my, wasn't the only person you've asked for something like that the one called the Mad Lord? Ho ho, it's because something beyond my control was born, so I'm curious about what went wrong. Well, it figures. From what I've heard of the person called the Mad Lord, there is no one as invincible as him. To the point, even our Grand Prince can't handle him. Oh hi SEO giggles cheerfully and places a stone. Seo Huiol blocks her move with a smile. So, will you grant my request? Well sure. Who is it? Seo Huiol smiles gently at her words and forms a hand seal. Woo-woo. Someone's face appears before Oh hi SEO's eyes like an illusion. It's a terminal attached to that person. It's in a rather risky location, so it could scatter at any time, but it seems he hasn't noticed it yet. Please look into his past through this. Oh hi SEO's eyes widen upon seeing the face. Oh my, isn't this someone I know? You want to know about his past? Yes. Seo Eunhyun is someone you fear. Oh hi SEO explains Seo Eunhyun to Seo Huiol. She outlines roughly what kind of person he is, his past, his likes and dislikes, his medical history, how many times he visited the dentist, his military service role, the schools he attended, and what was written in his student record. Seo Huiol inquires about the unfamiliar concepts and learns about Seo Eunhyun. Well, anyway, that's the kind of person he is. Just an ordinary guy, nothing worth paying much attention to. He's just a mortal who is really serious about eating. Ho, I see. This has been very helpful. Seo Huiol concludes after listening to Oh hi SEO's story from beginning to end. Most likely, the Seo Eunhyun you know is already dead. Oh no, how unfortunate. Oh hi SEO clicks her tongue and blocks Seo Huiol's path, who then captures Oh hi SEO's stone and continues speaking. His body was most likely taken over by some high-ranking entity. Perhaps his memories, soul, and fate have all been seized. The current Seo Eunhyun that exists is not your colleague but an unknown anomaly. Be careful, Miss Hyaseo, as you are not yet aware of the true existence of such mythical beings. Be cautious, and be cautious again. Oh, come on. You say that, but you're secretly hoping I mess with the anomaly and get ruined, right? Since that would make it easier to brainwash me, wouldn't it? Ho, I hold no such thoughts at all. I think I'm starting to understand your way of speech, Grand Prince. Oh hi SEO rolls her eyes at Seo Huiol, and Seo Huiol seizes the opportunity to completely block her path, while she's distracted to seize her territory entirely. By the way, didn't you say you were colleagues? You seem to know an excessive amount of information about this Seo Eunhyun. Is Miss Hyaseo's hometown originally a place where information flows so freely? Oh my, you know me, Grand Prince. That I'm quite thorough. I know everything about my colleagues. Especially a younger junior I doted on. I even found out how many wisdom teeth they had pulled, the shape of those teeth, and the exact length of their toenails when they cut them. Ho, as expected, it's one of your personal hobbies. Yes, well, something like that. But it's quite sad that it's so hard to get to know you, Grand Prince. Could you share some of your past with me? I told you last time, didn't I? Born as the son of the previous Sea Dragon King, COY. Come on, I know all of that is a lie. And you're not even COY's son. That body isn't even your original one. Aren't you much older? Seo Huiol and Oh hi SEO continue their chat with friendly smiles, and Oh hi SEO at some point reaches her hand into the illusion Seo Huiol has shown her. A Taiji symbol appears in her eyes. Suddenly, Oh hi SEO smiles inwardly. Oh my, you just rescued Yun. And what's this? Those actions, aren't they exactly the same as before? Every small habit, mannerism, way of speaking, and the way the corners of his mouth lift when he laughs are all the same. And yet, possessed by an anomaly? She places another stone in Seo Huiol's territory while cutting off his path, her eyes shining. What nonsense. That's definitely Seo Eunhyun. I don't know why he became something like an anomaly, but since all 7 of us gained strange powers, it must be due to that. She smiles inwardly, seeing he rescued Kim Yun, and there's no way that dull guy will know Kim Yun's thoughts. He must be planning to gather all his colleagues. Ohio Seo forms a plan. I need to look for an opportunity and make contact with Seo Eunhyun. Seo Eunhyun also seems to be against Seo Huiol, so if I say I was captured by Seo Huiol, he'll rescue me, right? Should I maybe play a double agent between Seo Eunhyun and Seo Huiol? Both sides look fun. She decides to approach Seo Eunhyun soon, choosing to align herself with whoever piques her curiosity the most. And Seo Huiol, observing her, smiles faintly. Ah, Grand Prince. I won. You didn't see that move coming, did you? Ho ho, indeed. I can't match you, Miss Hyaseo. After returning to Heavenly Human Island with Kim Yun, I register her at Temporal Fate Island and head with her to the entrance to the True Devil Realm. I plan to either wait for the Black Dragon King to arrive or for Oh Hyun-suk to be rescued before heading to Black Ghost Valley to take Kong Min-hee. Kim Yun looks at me for a moment and then asks, Eun-hyun Appa. Yes, what is it, Yun? You said you're going to Black Ghost Valley, right? MHM. Black Ghost Valley. That's where Min-hee Yuni went, isn't it? And Kim Yun hesitates for a moment as if gathering courage, then asks resolutely, Are you going to see Min-hee Yuni? I think for a moment about how to respond, then realize what she means. You already know. Ah, that's because, when Min-hee Yuni said she supports me, Kim Yun, having been caught immediately, lowers her head slightly in embarrassment. I shake my head and say, I'm not going because I miss Kong Min-hee. I just have something to do there. She's just an ex-girlfriend. Is that so? Yes. Eun-hyun Appa. Yes. You're rescuing Min-hee Yuni and me for the same reason, aren't you? What do you mean? I feel a slight sense of foreboding as I ask. Kim Yun gives a bitter smile and says, When you said you were going to rescue Min-hee Yuni, you showed the same intent as when you rescued me. Ah, it seems that I, thinking I already rescued Kim Yun, relaxed a bit and let my intent show. But if you showed the same intent when rescuing Min-hee Yuni as you did when rescuing me, and if you think of Min-hee Yuni as just an ex-girlfriend, her next words hit me like a blow to the back of my head. Are you treating me with the same feelings as you would an ex-girlfriend? Chapter 335, Old Monsters Rampage 4. Translator, Translating Novice. Editors, Z0rel, Blumengawade, Resnut. Join the Discord for chapter updates and important news. I'm momentarily frozen, unsure of what to say, and my mouth just opens and closes silently. Seeing me like that, Kim Yun gives a bitter smile. I finally thought you were accepting my feelings. I've always liked you. And when we met in the dreams, you were giving me intense of affection, so that's what I believed. Surik, she stands up from her seat. But it was my misunderstanding. I don't know why, but Eun-hyun Appa, you're seeing someone else in me, aren't you? I can't say anything, my face hardening. Seeing someone else. Yes, that's true. In a way, it isn't the current Kim Yun that I saved and liked, but rather, it's the Kim Yun from my time with the Mad Lord whose heart I was given that I was trying to love through the current Kim Yun. But in the end, it seems I was deceiving myself as well. I'm sorry. I apologize to Kim Yun, and I make up my mind. Let's tell her. Even though it's difficult to explain things related to the regression, I decide to tell her everything I can tell her. There was someone before, other than Kong Min-hee, who liked me. I tell her about the past cycle's Kim Yun. I refer to the name Kim Yun simply as her. The 1,000 years are generalized as a very long time, but it doesn't hinder conveying the meaning. We sit on a hill in front of the entrance to the True Devil Realm, talking. And I finally tell her everything about the past cycle's Kim Yun. That's the end of it. She died. She met me at the end and conveyed her heart to me. And I might be projecting her onto you. So that's why. Kim Yun nods her head. Now I understand why you felt the emotion of longing towards me. A brief silence lingers between us after that. After a while, Kim Yun asks, Eun-hyun Appa. She hesitates for a while, as if struggling with her words. But despite that, she closes her eyes tightly and asks, You know, right? That I like you. With her face flushed red, she buries her face in her knees as she speaks. I give a bitter smile. Yeah. For a while, an intent that's hard to put into words flows between us. You don't have any intention of accepting me, do you? I'm silent for a long time. I hadn't expected her to delve in so quickly. Through her question, I discover feelings within myself that I hadn't known before. I love the Kim Yun of that cycle, but the current Kim Yun, I don't love her. She is still just a cute junior to me. I see. Haha, I'm glad I asked. Kim Yun seems to fall silent for a moment, then speaks. To be honest, I thought we were dating. When you spoke to me in the dreams, it was difficult to distinguish intent, and you radiated an intent of longing for me, always talking to me, comforting me, laughing with me, and keeping me company. You even stormed in to save me from the Mad Lord. Kim Yun smiles. She smiles brightly. If you hadn't told me, I might have ended up with a really strange misunderstanding. Surik. Kim Yun stands up from her seat. Thank you for being honest with your feelings. If you had lied to comfort me, I might have ended up in a weirder state. She turns her back to me, and while facing away, she speaks. I have a goal now, Deputy CEO Eunhyun. I try to say something, but no words come out. I can't think of what to say. I'm going to keep confessing to you. I'll keep confessing my love again and again, until you truly, truly fall for me. She rubs her face, and then turns back to look at me. I like you, Deputy CEO Eunhyun. Kim Yun is crying. There are no tears, but she's crying with a dark blue intent. I hesitate for a moment, but seeing that intent, I make up my mind. I will no longer waver. Okay, I don't have feelings for this life's Kim Yun as a lover or a romantic partner. Let's acknowledge that. And let's also acknowledge that Kim Yun will endlessly keep sending her heart to me. If her heart doesn't break, my heart might eventually fall. No, in fact, it has already fallen several times. To Buk Hyangwa, to the Kim Yun of the past cycle, to Hong Surayong. I can't accept your heart today. Then I'll offer it again tomorrow. She hardens her gaze. Tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and the day after that. No matter how long it takes. Over and over again. I lock eyes with Kim Yun for a while. Whatever it is, the eyes of someone with determination shines. She is shining. Do your best. People's hearts change. But sometimes, there are hearts that do not change. And those who maintain and refine such unwavering hearts. Sometimes, they are reborn as a new kind of being with a new vision. Will she be able to push through with her heart? All I can do is cheer for Kim Yun. I can't love her right now. That would be deceiving my own heart. But if time passes and she keeps sending her heart to me, then I don't know. The relationship between Kim Yun and I will change from now on. Until now, I've been deceiving myself into thinking I liked her. And she, too, had been under the strange illusion that we were dating. But at this moment, I revealed my genuine heart. And even though she heard my true feelings, she didn't give up and decided to start anew and push her heart towards me. I suddenly feel afraid of Kim Yun. If that unyielding heart changes or fades away halfway through, it wouldn't be a big matter. But what if it doesn't change? If so, perhaps at some point, Kim Yun would come to hold a very significant place within me. For me, cherishing someone is natural, but loving them is frightening. I have lost that love so many times right before my eyes and know how painful and heart-wrenching it is when love disappears. Yes, Kim Yun would become my heart's greatest burden in the future. After sorting out our relationship in that way, time passes. Kugugugugu. Gigantic warships cross over from the entrance of the true devil realm. They are the remnants of the human race. Strangely, the Black Dragon King never appeared, allowing the human race army to come through unimpeded. And leading those remnants, John Myung-hoon catches my eye. John Myung-hoon returns with a calm face and speaks to me. I heard they were doing something as stupid as the Realm Annihilation Heavenly Void Formation, so I flipped the table. I killed a few of the top brass, but since they were all at the 4-axis stage, they'll resurrect on their own. You killed the top brass? Got a problem with that? They wouldn't listen even though I said we had to leave quickly, insisting that they had to activate the formation till the end. The Grand Cultivator Association might make a fuss, but since you're also a Grand Cultivator now, support me appropriately. I'm a bit taken aback by John Myung-hoon's seemingly reckless approach, but at the same time, it feels like something he would do. Well, you did well. Since those at the 4-axis stage can resurrect, I'm not concerned about their deaths. Killing a few of them to swiftly bringing out the human race was rather well done. And then, I am able to meet Oh Hyun-suk shortly after. It's been a while, CO Eun-hyun. It has been a while, Hyung-nim. He speaks with a thoroughly exhausted face. A lot has happened. And, I heard you became a Grand Cultivator. Yes. Haha. John Myung-hoon has grown unexpectedly, and you've become this strong already. Haha. I'm the only one lagging behind. For some reason, Oh Hyun-suk is currently at the core formation stage. John Myung-hoon crosses his arms and explains. He was originally at the Grand Perfection Nascent Soul stage, reaching towards the Heavenly Being stage, but he suffered a critical injury while stopping the Devil Race's advance, and his cultivation fell. Oh Hyun-suk sighs. I've realized a lot. When I return to the Azure Heaven Creation Sect, I plan to focus on improving my cultivation. This world truly is a place where you must have strength to live like a person. Indeed. I agree with Oh Hyun-suk's words. However, I smile at his mention of returning to the Azure Heaven Creation Sect. Instead of just going back to raise your realm, why not travel with us? I make a suggestion to Oh Hyun-suk. In my past life, I failed to gather my colleagues. In this life, I have brought together John Myung-hoon, Oh Hyun-suk, and Kim Yun. Now, if I just call Kang Min-hee here, everyone who can be gathered in the current situation will be together. The primary goal in this life is to develop the canvas of myriad forms and connections. Thus, it's best to stay alongside talented colleagues and operate the canvas of myriad forms and connections. I also have the regret of not seeing my colleagues all together in my previous life. However, Oh Hyun-suk shakes his head with a regretful expression. I'm sorry, but the training method of the Azure Heaven Creation sect is actually more efficient and powerful than any other sect. If I train there, I'll inevitably become much stronger. For now, I plan to get even stronger there using the most efficient methods first. The Azure Heaven Creation sect is indeed efficient. If you want to be with me, how about you join the Azure Heaven Creation sect instead? You don't have to become a disciple. You can stay as a guest. The Azure Heaven Creation sect does not have guests. No, there are those who want to become guests of the Azure Heaven Creation sect, but they all flee within 3 days. The longest-lasting guest probably stayed for 7 days and nights, I believe. Moreover, since guests are not inner disciples, no one bothers to chase after them if they run away. Inner disciples, however, are pursued by their seniors with fire in their eyes for discipline if they run away. But if a guest decides to leave, what can you do? Anyway, the important thing is that the Azure Heaven Creation sect is not a place that leaves even guests alone. It's a place where even guests flee. If Kim Yun or John Myung-hoon were to go, I guarantee they'd run away within 5 days. Of course, saying this outright would hurt feelings, so I soften my words. I apologize for saying this, but training with us would be more efficient than training at the Azure Heaven Creation sect. Huh? What do you mean by that? Well, isn't Azure Heaven Creation sect's Azure Tiger Saint at the 4-axis stage? That's right. At this point, John Myung-hoon, Kim Yun, and I all possess power beyond the 4-axis stage. Also, I already have the qualifications of a Grand Cultivator of the Human Race Grand Alliance. I extend my hand to him. Honestly, it would be better for Hyun-suk Hyung-nim to train with us rather than at the Azure Heaven Creation sect. Moreover, I can obtain several methods that are perfect for Hyung-nim. Please give it a thought. Well, if you really prefer the Azure Heaven Creation sect, there's nothing I can do. Oh Hyun-suk says he will consider it, and after some idle chatter with everyone, I stand up. Then, since we're all gathered, shall we go look for Kang Min-hee as well? She's at the Black Ghost Valley, right? Yes, let's head there. Coom. After connecting my colleagues to me through attraction force, I take a step towards Black Ghost Valley. Using the ground shrinking technique, I arrive at Black Ghost Valley in an instant and am taken aback. In front of Black Ghost Valley, Oh Hyeseo, dressed in pure white, is sitting on a nearby rock looking at me. Chapter 336, Old Monsters Rampage, 5. Translator, Translating Novice. Editors, Z0 Rel, Blumengawade, Resnot. Join the Discord for chapter updates and important news. What's that? It's definitely Oh Hyeseo, but there's an odd sense of incongruity about her. I walk towards the entrance, keeping my face expressionless. It's definitely Oh Hyeseo. However, there are no basic signs of life one would expect from a human such as heartbeats or life waves, and there's no sensation of consciousness waves either. I see. It's a projection. I focus my consciousness on my surrounding colleagues. Strangely, none of my colleagues react to seeing Oh Hyeseo. Considering how popular she was at the company, they should all be greeting her with delight for meeting after a long time. But this lack of reaction means only I can see her. I get it. I finally realize the source of the strange incongruity. The same sense as Kim Young-hoon. I can see her because I possess that perception. While Oh Hyeseo originally has no intention of revealing herself to us, that very intention, to do something, is making her projection visible. How creepy. If I didn't have this sense, I too would have passed by without seeing her. For now, I control my entire body's reaction and walk towards the Black Ghost Valley, pretending not to notice her. Wawoom. Clap. Oh Hyeseo claps her hands with a smile. Immortal beast. Lustrous glazed peacock. Flash. A clear radiance bursts forth, causing a momentary dazed look in my colleague's eyes. I draw upon the canvas of myriad forms and connections from within. Perhaps because I faced the governing immortals and recognized the vanished entities in this cycle, by slightly operating the canvas of myriad forms and connections, I am able to resist the light of the lustrous glazed peacock. However, I pretend to be dazed to see what Oh Hyeseo is trying to do. Immortal beast, in ghost black turtle. Simultaneously, with the nether perception I acquired through the great desert to Dead Sea, I see the outskirts of the netherworld. The outskirts of the netherworld begin to ripple and transform in various places. Oh Hyeseo. I sense what she is trying to do and consider whether to strike with the All-Heavens sword. She is currently distorting the outskirts of the netherworld with the power of the ghost black turtle. The outskirts of the netherworld are located in a special plane that overlaps with this world. While they overlap, they are not completely the same, and they mutually influence each other. As the outskirts of the netherworld twist, reality distorts along with it. Through the senses of the great desert to Dead Sea, I can feel numerous ghosts screaming at the sudden calamity. Most ghosts have their main bodies in the outskirts of the netherworld, and what appears in reality is just a kind of projection. Of course, foolish ghosts below the level of ghost kings are mostly unaware that their main bodies are in the outskirts of the netherworld. In any case, the principle behind ghosts displaying supernatural phenomena, like passing through objects, is all due to their main bodies existing in another plane. Therefore, unless it's a power that can dispel the outskirts of the netherworld itself, like the force of vanquishing evil and upholding righteousness, or a power that can transcend planes, it's originally difficult to harm ghosts. But Ohio is laying down some kind of formation across the entire Black Ghost Valley by manipulating the outskirts of the netherworld itself. At the same time, the light from the lustrous glazed peacock emitted by her is making a fool of not just us, but all the ghosts in the Black Ghost Valley. The terrified ghostly wails gradually subside, and only the stupid woo-woo sounds of ghosts echo. Probably all the humans in the Black Ghost Valley have become fools too. But I inwardly sneer. How crude. It's merely a supernatural power borrowed from an immortal beast, not deriving from the true ghost path method. In my eyes, it's just crude. Numerous thoughts arise on how to dismantle the formation she is laying, how to restore the outskirts of the netherworld she has twisted back to their original state, and how to use this to capture Ohio instead. My mind is bursting like fireworks. It would be very easy to twist the outskirts of the netherworld by using the attraction force of Great Desert to Dead Sea. A feeling I never had while learning martial arts or orthodox cultivation methods. It feels as if a bright path is visible before my eyes. Could it be because the root of Co. Lee's talent in devilish arts came from me? It's ridiculous. It seems so easy. I suppress a wry smile internally and maintain my neutral expression. Ohio lets us enter the Black Ghost Valley, and I decide to leave her alone for now. She appears to be plotting something, but I'm confident I can reverse her scheme and punish her properly when she takes action. What's this? Something feels strange. The first to sense the incongruity is the one with the vast consciousness, Kim Yun. She tilts her head, seemingly aware that her mind had momentarily become dazed. However, John Myung-hoon and Oh Hyun-suk look puzzled, not noticing at all, and I deliberately don't inform them. After a while, we encounter a gatekeeper on our way to the dock of the Nether Crossing ship. Grand Cultivator Seo Eun-hyun is here to meet Kong Min-hee, a disciple of Black Ghost Valley. The gatekeeper Jiangshi is startled by my words, and they summon a ghost from their sleeve to send towards the Nether Crossing ship. Oh Hyun-suk and John Myung-hoon slightly frown at the sight of the Jiangshi, but Kim Yun, who has seen countless puppets, appears unfazed. Yes, Elder. I have sent a messenger ghost to the inner valley, so a response will arrive shortly. Shortly after, two figures fly over from the direction of the Nether Crossing ship. It's the familiar Hyo Gwak and Hyo Ryong. Hyo Ryong greets me with a slightly tense face, while Hyo Gwak stares at me with an expression of incomprehension. Is there something on my face? Oh no. My apologies. While he still has the look of incomprehension, he bites his lip and lowers his head. Now that I think about it, Senior must have been hiding your true cultivation back then. I was inexperienced and dared to be rude to you, Senior. Hyo Gwak, seemingly thinking that I'm a monster who had hidden their cultivation, bows his head and apologizes for what happened at the Flying Immortal platform. He wouldn't believe me if I said I was really just at the nascent soul stage back then, would he? Rather, he would probably think I'm mocking him, so I just nod slightly. Alright, that's that. As you know, I've come to meet Kong Min-hee, the disciple of the Black Ghost Valley. Hyo Ryong awkwardly smiles and speaks. Ahaha, Senior. I greatly apologize, but disciple Kong Min-hee is currently in secluded cultivation at the Black Ghost Valley's secret grounds. May I ask the reason you wish to meet her? It's nothing special. I just want to meet her because she's from my hometown. By the way, what's her current realm? Currently, that child has entered the heavenly being stage. I look at Hyo Ryong and Hyo Gwak. They're lying. Are they worried that I might take her away if I know her current cultivation realm? For now, just bring her here. If she's at the heavenly being stage, she should at least be able to send a clone, no? Even if she can't move due to her seclusion, she should be able to send a clone. Yes, of course. I will bring her in person, not just her clone. Hyo Ryong signals to Hyo Gwak with his eyes, who then quickly runs off to fetch Kong Min-hee. In the meantime, Hyo Ryong leads us outside of the Nether Crossing ship to a flower garden at the highest peak of the Black Ghost Valley. Chechechesh. When we arrive, various beautiful flowers and plants are in full bloom, and there are no traces of ghostly energy or energy to be found. This is the perfect place to entertain guests. Following Heo Ryong's lead, we enter and sit in the pavilion at the center of the garden. Clap clap. At Heo Ryong's clap, beautifully adorned Jiangshi served us tea. First of all, welcome to the Black Ghost Valley, Sir Grand Cultivator Seo. I heard you recently became a Grand Cultivator. That's right. That's very impressive. The future of our human race has become even brighter. Heo Ryong flatters me, engaging in small talk for a while. Then, after a while, he subtly shifts the conversation to the main topic. By any chance, has Sir Grand Cultivator come to the Black Ghost Valley with regards to the matter acquiring your subordinate force? It really isn't for such a reason. I just came to meet Kong Minhee, but it somehow seems like my actions are being explained that way. Let's talk more in detail after seeing Kong Minhee. Ah yes. Of course. A little while later, Heo Guak is flying over with a disciple at the heavenly being stage from afar. It's Kong Minhee. I slightly frown at the sight. A clone. It appears they brought over the clone at the heavenly being stage instead of the main body as promised. Well, showing a disciple who reached the 4-axis stage in 100 years to a suspicious Grand Cultivator has no benefits. Soon, Kong Minhee enters the pavilion. She seems to slightly bite her lips at the sight of me, then formally greets me from the opposite side. Greetings, Sir Grand Cultivator Seo Eunhyun. It's been a long time since we last met. I feel a slight bitterness at her formality and shake my head. Drop the formalities. And I look at her and ask, if it's you, you must have noticed, right? It seems a loach has entered your sect. What are you going to do about it? Flinch. Kong Minhee gives a sly smirk at my words. Rather than a loach, it's best to fly. And when it comes to flies, it's best to swat them down. As expected, she has also noticed Oh Hai Seo's disruptions, her eyes gleaming. Even if Oh Hai Seo spread the light of the lustrous glazed peacock, the Kong Minhee in front of me is just a clone controlled by the main body and hence wouldn't be affected. Heo Guak and Heo Ryong look puzzled as if they can't follow our conversation, and I ask Kong Minhee another question. The fly is quite big. How do you plan to catch it at the heavenly being stage? You'd need at least the qualifications to handle attraction force. Kong Minhee's eyes glint at my words. And Heo Guak and Heo Ryong, catching the hidden thorn in my words, flinch and shudder. I apologize, senior. We were too presumptuous. Please punish us. As expected of old monsters who have lived for at least thousands of years, they immediately kneel before me. But at the same time, they cleverly avoid mentioning Kong Minhee's main body being hidden, showing their cunning by seeking forgiveness first. Truly old monsters that can't be underestimated. Clicking my tongue, I ask, it seems something is wrong with your sect, and it appears only Cultivator Kong and I have noticed. As an outsider, I might cause reluctance if I interfere, so I will give you a chance. What will you do? At my words, the two exchange glances before looking at Kong Minhee. Kong Minhee seems to transmit a message, and after a while, their faces turn to shock. That happened? Why didn't we notice anything? Sweat starts dripping from their faces as they speak. If only you and Sir Grand Cultivator can sense it. We have no choice. We will open the gate for a moment, so come out. Minhee. Kong Minhee nods, and the two bow deeply to me in apology. We have overstepped. We confess our sin of daring to hide our disciple's realm from you, senior. Did I not say she was from the same hometown? I am well aware of Cultivator Kang's talent. She has always been someone exceptional. Kong Minhee seems to want to say something at my words, but glances at Heo Guak and Heo Ryong before clamping her mouth shut again. Then I will open the gate. Kuguguguk. Heo Ryong and Heo Guak draw something like a formation on the spot. An attraction force begins to emanate. Kuguguguk. I thought she could only come out on days with strong energy, but it seems she can come out regardless with the combined strengths of two 4-axis Grand Elders. Soon, a rift in space opens in the middle of the pavilion, and an overwhelming chill spills out. Chua. The cold spreads out in a circle, and from the pitch-black darkness, a woman appears. Surik. Clad in a black robe formed from the surrounding darkness, she turns her eyes burning faintly with blue ghost fire towards me. It's Kong Minhee. Check. Her clone at the heavenly being stage is absorbed by her main body as soon as she enters the bright cold realm, and I feel the outskirts of the netherworld quiver nearby. I smile slightly as I look at Kong Minhee's main body. It's been a while, colleague Kong. It really has been a while, Sir Grand Cultivator Seo. But since this is an official setting, I'd appreciate it if you could separate public and private matters. Kong Minhee openly shows her discomfort with a forced smile, while John Myung-hoon and Oh Hyun-suk have expressions that say, as expected. Kim Yun appears slightly restless. Well, for now, would it be fine if we start by swatting the fly? I smile and raise my attraction force. That is our first priority. Kong Minhee looks down towards the vicinity of the nether crossing ship, exuding ghostly energy. Then, since we need to untangle the distorted outskirts first, the two grand elders should. It's when Kong Minhee reaches towards the twisted outskirts of the netherworld. Oh my, is our sales development department having a fun party without me? A clear and resonant voice suddenly springs out from somewhere. The voice startles Kim Yun, Kong Minhee, John Myung-hoon, and Oh Hyun-suk, turning their faces into shock. Even I am so caught off guard that I flinch in surprise. Ahaha, let me join in too. Wriggle, wriggle. My shadow suddenly squirms, and a woman dressed in white appears from within, smiling brightly with her arms outstretched. How? I didn't sense anything. Something is wrong. This feeling isn't coming from Oh Hyeseo. I immediately realize something. This isn't Oh Hyeseo's power. This is tainted soul filling the heavens. Instantly, I piece together past experiences and truths to weave together a certain inference. Seo Huil, that bastard must have placed tainted soul filling the heavens on my shadow. And Oh Hyeseo used her power through Seo Huil's tainted soul filling the heavens to appear here. Chills run down my spine. The fact that tainted soul filling the heavens can affect such an abstract concept like a shadow is absurd, but combined with Oh Hyeseo's power, it makes my neck tingle. Doesn't that mean Seo Huil can snipe me from a remote distance whenever he desires? Oh Hyeseo's projection that appeared through the power of tainted soul filling the heavens smiles brightly and recites. Immortal beasts lustrous glazed peacock, in ghost black turtle, mountain-destroying demon ape, black dragon, supreme tiger, azure pong, white-winged heavenly pegasus. Wine. A taiji pattern forms beneath her feet, and from below it, the figures of divine immortal beasts emerge. Wait you! Kong Minhee, enraged, reaches out to Oh Hyeseo, and I too brandish my all-heavens sword towards the sudden intruder. But the next moment, ho 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 ho, ho ho ho, Hyo Ryong and Hyo Guak start laughing eerily like something straight out of a nightmare, forming hand seals simultaneously. Oh Hyeseo and Seo Huil exert their powers at the same time. Blood in Ghost Valley Labyrinth, Shin Guiguvigong. Myriad spirits, earth, immortal apparition, Wenling, Di Shanzhong. Space distorts. In an instant, our surroundings turn into a pure white space. When I look around, my colleagues are nowhere to be seen. We have fallen into the trap set by the collaboration of Oh Hyeseo and Seo Huil. Ho ho ho. Thank you, Miss Hyeseo. Thanks to you, we were able to capture that anomaly. The pure white space. Inside, the projection of Seo Huil dressed in blue robes, and the projection of Oh Hyeseo dressed in white, are conversing. By the way, was it necessary to reveal the technique I had hidden? It was a secret that I could hide it in shadows. Oh my, was it necessary? It's fun, isn't it? Fun ho ho. Seo Huil looks at Oh Hyeseo with a bright smile. A look that seems to say he understands whatever Oh Hyeseo is thinking. As expected, Oh Hyeseo is also smiling. However, she is fiercely thinking as she looks at Seo Huil. What is this guy thinking? Does he know my plan? That can't be. But Seo Huil's techniques might be able to read thoughts, so I have to be careful. I should keep trivial thoughts on the surface while contemplating important ones deeper inside. Well, fine. Regardless, Seo Huil will be leaving this other world created by distorting the outskirts of the netherworld. So I'll use that gap to secretly contact Seo Eunhyun. Oh Hyeseo's mind races furiously. Then, Seo Huil stands up from his seat. I can't stay in this space for too long, so I'll step outside and prepare to capture them completely. Miss Hyeseo, please maintain this space for a while. Leave it to me. Oh Hyeseo stands up to see Seo Huil off, and he turns his back to leave the white space. At that moment, Kuwam, a heavy rumbling roar is heard from somewhere. Seo Huil turns around and laughs softly. Oh dear. Well, I expected as much. What? Oh Hyeseo looks towards the origin of the sound, momentarily unable to grasp the situation. What in the... And then, Kwajing Chang. Cracks spread across the white space, and a hand reaches out from within, grabbing Oh Hyeseo's ankle. No, what is this? Oh Hyeseo's eyes widen in shock, and Seo Huil hurriedly uses attraction force to open the door of the white space. No, wait. Grand Prince, Seo Huil, take me with you. Oh Hyeseo hastily calls out to Seo Huil, but he simply laughs with a ho-ho, stepping through the door and closing it without hesitation. Quong. TSTSTST. The white door shines brightly before dissipating into the white space. Oh Hyeseo gasps for breath, her lips pressed tightly together as she feels the 38 eyes staring at her from behind, and hears Seo Huil's voice from ahead. Ho ho, Miss Hyeseo. I wish you a safe return to reality. I will take good care of your body. Seo Huil. You. Kaya. Kayawiya. Waweya. The white space becomes contaminated, transforming into a garden of filthy flowers. Clench. A terrifying arm straight from a nightmare grasps Oh Hyeseo's shoulder. It's been a while, Kaligo. Chapter 337, Old Monsters Rampage, 6. Translator, Translating Novice. Editors, Z0rel, Blumengawade, Resnot. Join the Discord for chapter updates and important news. Oh Hyaseo's mind spins quickly as she looks at the monster, Seo Eun-hyun, behind her. And at this moment, she calculates the optimal act she needs to perform. Cook, Seo Eun-hyun. First, she makes a sad expression on her face. Then she speaks in a voice full of reluctance. Kill me. Drip, drip, drip. Tears flow from Oh Hyaseo's eyes. With awkward movements, she attempts to attack Seo Eun-hyun. Flash. The shape of an immortal beast emerging from her hand charges towards Seo Eun-hyun. He will think something is strange. If that happens, it will be Oh Hyaseo's victory. She knows Seo Eun-hyun very well. In fact, like many male employees in the company, Seo Eun-hyun also had a subtle fondness for her. Oh Hyaseo knows this fact all too well. Now, Seo Eun-hyun. Notice that something is strange. Hesitate to attack me. The story she wants to show through her acting is that of a pitiful colleague being controlled by the evil Seo Huil. After Seo Eun-hyun asks what's going on, she would answer that she's being controlled by Seo Huil. Then she would tell Seo Eun-hyun how to break Seo Huil's control and lead him to release it. After that, I'll inform him that I'm trapped by Seo Huil. Then Seo Eun-hyun and the other colleagues will come to rescue me, and I can join them naturally. Oh Hyaseo smiles inwardly, satisfied with her perfect plan. She cries again with tears streaming down her face. Kill me, Seo Eun-hyun. Understood. And without hesitation, Seo Eun-hyun tears apart the shape of the immortal beast sent by Oh Hyaseo and swings a pitch-black ghost claw towards her. Oh Hyaseo dodges the ghost claw with all her might. This other dimension, created with the twisting of the netherworld's outer boundary. To control the center of this space, one has to be in a soul state. Regular physical force doesn't work. However, being in a soul state, Oh Hyaseo understands that it will be a disaster if she touches Seo Eun-hyun's ghost claw. That ghostly energy, that curse. If I touch it, my soul will rot away. She breaks into a cold sweat inwardly, thinking frantically. What is this? Why is he so unhesitant? No, wait. Does he really think I've betrayed him? No, that can't be. Oh Hyaseo cries out tearfully. Free me, Seo Eun-hyun. Seo Huil is controlling me, forcing me to attack you. Quack-quack-quack-wang. As she says this, she releases a taiji from her hands towards Seo Eun-hyun and uses the recoil to fly backward. Chi 3. However, Seo Eun-hyun, not having suffered even a scratch, walks through the white space with 38 lights shining from his eyes. All right, I'll help you. Rest in peace. Bwong. Without the slightest hesitation, Seo Eun-hyun scatters a curse spell towards her. Pitch-black curses fall towards her in streams. Oh Hyaseo grits her teeth inwardly. That stupid bastard. When Yun suggested to have lunch together at work, he told her to eat alone, and now he takes my plea literally. What a useless bitch. Having revealed that she's being controlled, there's no more reason to attack her unless he truly is an idiot. Oh Hyaseo racks her brain. Yes, maybe because he fought Seo Huil once, he knows how terrifying Seo Huil is and believes there's no chance of saving me. With this conclusion, she bites her lip and acts again. Thank you, Eun-hyun. To break Seo Huil's spell, you need to unravel the 108 threads of Yin-Yang 5 elements and a malicious restraint called the 5 Elements Blood Curse Banner within me. Then you have to sequentially break the 4 curses in my consciousness. But that might be too difficult, right? Just let me rest. Yes, it does seem really difficult. I have no confidence. Goodbye, Oh Hyaseo. If you can't do it, at least ask Kong Min-hee or some other smart person. I even gave you the clues. Bwong. Oh Hyaseo barely dodges Seo Eun-hyun's curse again, sweating coldly. That useless bastard, he's really trying to kill me. Has he gone mad after learning some devilish arts? Just what happened during those 100 years to make him this broken? Even his past is shrouded by a hazy mist and unreadable. Biting her lip, Oh Hyaseo decides to change her plan. That crazy madman bastard. Wandering around with those strange things stuck on his shoulders, he's definitely gone mad. Oh Hyaseo rolls her eyes. Let's give up on Seo Eun-hyun for now. Since this madman is acting like this, there's no chance of joining him as a colleague. For now, it's better to look for an opportunity to join through John Myung-hoon or the sharp-witted Kong Min-hee later. Deciding to modify her plan, Oh Hyaseo spreads her hands. Weeing. A taiji symbol spins between her hands. Blood in Ghost Valley Labyrinth, activate. Pat it. In an instant, the white space twists, creating a distance of 100 li between Oh Hyaseo and Seo Eun-hyun. The taiji rotates once. The distance widens by another 100 li. Seo Huil's blood in Ghost Valley Labyrinth. This spell twists the outskirts of the netherworld to create a special-purpose alternate space. Originally, Seo Huil could only create the blood in Ghost Valley Labyrinth, but not control it. What he could do was open and close the blood in Ghost Valley Labyrinth and grant administrator privileges. However, Even those granted administrator privileges could not freely manage the space. To control this space, certain special conditions had to be met even if one has received the administrator privileges. And through her own powers, Oh can control this space as if it's hers. I need to get far away from Seo Eun-hyun and isolate him in another space. If I don't get out quickly, who knows what Seo Huiol will do to my body again. Kuguguguk. Far away, the space begins to warp due to an immense attraction force. Oh grits her teeth and extends her hands. The space shifts, nullifying Seo Eun-hyun's attraction force. She sweats coldly. Is it because he's at the integration level? It's tough to negate his attraction force. Anyway, since I've sealed his attraction force, he won't be able to chase me with the ground shrinking technique. At that moment, what? Oh blinks her two eyes. Seo Eun-hyun has appeared right in front of her. Don't worry, I'll set you free. Boom. Seo Eun-hyun raises his arm. Quong. His arm, filled with pitch-black curses, smashes into the white space. What is this? Oh gnashes her teeth in frustration, her expression one of disbelief. He got here without using the ground shrinking technique, and only with the flying escape technique. Wing. She spreads her hands and summons the Taiji again. The Taiji spins rapidly, increasing the distance between her and Seo Eun-hyun once more. 100 li, 200 li, 3,000 li. If it's this much, without the ground shrinking technique. Is it an illusion spell? But contrary to her hopes, when she closes and opens her eyes, Seo Eun-hyun has reappeared right in front of her again. How did you get here without the ground shrinking technique? I'm just that fast. Seo Eun-hyun reaches out his hand towards Oh calmly. Oh face turns pale. Even though she's emotionless, she still has desires. From basic desires like hunger, lust, and sleep to the fundamental desire to survive. And as a living being, the fundamental desire to live and the fear that stems from it are naturally present. Oh overcome with the fears stemming from her desire to survive, gasps for breath and extends her arms. Immortal beast, lustrous glazed peacock. Flash. A pure white light shoots towards Seo Eun-hyun. But Seo Eun-hyun seems to wrap himself in a hazy mist, and the light of the lustrous glazed peacock scatters uselessly. Oh retreats, continuously summoning the power of the immortal beasts. Immortal beast, Een ghost black turtle. The Een energy of the black turtle, said to command 10,000 ghosts, appears to spread around. But as Seo Eun-hyun's 38 orbs of light shine, the Een energy of the black turtle seems startled and tries to move away from him. Immortal beast, mountain-destroying demon ape, white-winged heavenly Pegasus. The power of the white-winged heavenly Pegasus, symbolizing order, and the mountain-destroying demon ape, symbolizing chaos, gathers in Oh hands. Oh clashes the black and white energies in both hands. Kugwagwagwagwa. The energy of great chaos seems to fill the white space completely. But in the next moment, Great Mountain. Flash. Splitting Emperor. The energy of great chaos disperses and scatters entirely. Immortal beast, Azure Pong. Ying. Blue wings appear to burst forth from her shoulder blades, twisting the space around her. At the same time, the blood Een Ghost Valley labyrinth twists, trapping Seo Eun-hyun in the distorted maze of space. This is the power of the famous immortal beast Azure Pong, renowned for its spatial labyrinth abilities. Combined with the power of the blood Een Ghost Valley labyrinth, the space is twisted once more, making it impossible to escape in a short time. Quatching. Then, breaking through the white space, Seo Eun-hyun's hand emerges. Oh, hi, Seo. Oh once again sets up the spatial labyrinth to reseal Seo Eun-hyun, then uses the power of the blood Een Ghost Valley labyrinth to put more distance between herself and him. Borrowing the power of the immortal beast Supreme Tiger, she strengthens her physical body and tries to break through the space to escape outside with the power of the Azure Pong. However, she turns back at a chilling sound. Do-do-do-do-do. A giant with 19 dangling heads and 38 eyes weeping bloody tears, with a body of starlight and black, grotesque flowers blooming all over it, is running towards her. Ooh, Kaiya, Wapa. The eerie wails decorate the surroundings of the giant. Go away. Finally, Oh composure crumbles. Go away, you monster. Do-do-do-do-do. She summons the images of numerous immortal beasts and throws them at the monster. But it's useless. The Een energy of the Een Ghost Black Turtle is just chewed up. The chaos of the mountain-destroying demon ape is contaminated into a curse. The vanquishing evil and upholding righteousness of the white-winged heavenly Pegasus are devoured by summoned pure white flowers, and the power of the lustrous glazed peacock is blocked by a hazy mist. The Azure Pang's spatial labyrinth is simply broken through, and the power of Supreme Tiger is ineffective. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh towards the Seo Eun-hyun, who has suddenly caught up and is reaching towards her, throws the form of the black dragon. But Seo Eun-hyun grabs the jaws of the black dragon, tears it apart, and resumes his mad chase after her. Whoa! Something is caught in Seo Eun-hyun's grasp. Dangerous. Dangerous. He's about to throw something at me. It'll be dangerous if it hits. Sensing the flow of heaven and earth's spiritual energy, she realizes Seo Eun-hyun is about to throw something ominous at her. It's really dangerous. No. All heavens. Kayak. Seo Eun-hyun throws something at her, and Oh Hyeseo screams in agony, as if her entire body is being shredded apart. Clench. Finally, Oh Hyeseo is caught in the giant's grasp. I finally caught her. I sigh as I glare at Oh Hyeseo. She looks as if she's about to faint. It seems that the pain from the All Heavens sword cutting through her soul is considerable. All right, now then. I begin to infuse ghostly energy into her body, distorting the space using Oh Hyeseo, who is the center of this area. Kagugugu. This is a space made from borrowing the outskirts of the netherworld. So, it should be fully maneuverable with my abilities. Kagugugu. The white space moves. It twists. Sensing my scattered colleagues, I begin to call them one by one. Hot. John Myung-hoon is the first to arrive by my side. Next, Kim Yun and Oh Hyun-suk appear in order. Hot. The last to appear is Kong Min-hee. Well, it seems everyone has gathered except Kim Young-hoon. As you all know, Oh Hyeseo brought us to this space. She is also the one who tampered with the Black Ghost Valley. The Deputy O? Really? John Myung-hoon and Oh Hyun-suk are surprised, and Kim Yun also looks slightly taken aback. Kong Min-hee, however, crosses her arms and clicks her tongue. Let's hear the reason. Since she's been a smooth talker since Earth. I look at Oh Hyeseo and ask. Yes, I'm curious as well. Just what is the reason for betraying us? Oh Hyeseo is an intriguing person. She's always in a calm state, with her intent always being stable. Though her intent, symbolizing emotions, are faint, she doesn't possess a horrifying heart essence like Seo Huiol. To put it bluntly, Oh Hyeseo's heart essence is like a desolate desert, different from the filthy wasteland of Seo Huiol or the Mad Lord. That's why, until I was directly attacked by Oh Hyeseo, I didn't know her true nature. Though I still don't understand, even now. What exactly is the motive behind her actions, and why did she betray us and join sides with Seo Huiol? In response to my question, Oh Hyeseo smiles faintly. Shudder. Ho-ho, as expected. You have been in contact with Miss Hyeseo for a long time. Then, a bloody light emits from her soul. Chwakik. I try to seal Oh Hyeseo using ghostly energy, but I realize it's impossible. I am pushed back by the bloodlight, and end up losing her. This space. It's resonating with this light. As the red light erupts, Oh Hyeseo's shadow squirms, and becomes Seo Huiol. Seo Huiol gently wraps his arms around Oh Hyeseo's shoulders, and pulls her into his embrace. Miss Hyeseo will be taken back. When I briefly took over her body outside, it turned out her ability itself originates from her soul. She herself is needed. You. Then, Seo Huiol moves his hand. Open, tainted soul, deadly gaze. Pat it. Bloodlight looks to spread around, and Seo Huiol's horrifying heart essence spreads through the white space. Everyone, close your eyes and shut off your consciousness. I urgently shout to the surroundings. It's Seo Huiol's heart essence. Staring at it for too long will make you instantly brainwashed by his tainted soul filling the heavens. That's when it happens. Shudder. The Blood-eaten Ghost Valley Labyrinth is a kind of side path, using the outskirts of the netherworld. The only difference is that the destination is not the nether ghost realm, but the Blood-eaten realm. Kugugugugu. In the distance, a blood-red world can be seen. While I retrieve my axes, you can enjoy a tour of the Blood-eaten realm. Ho-ho. It should only take 3,000 years. I try to resist that blood-red world, but the powerful attraction force continues. There's no other choice. I must jump. I exerted all my strength to break free from the attraction force. Then it happens. Wying. From the hand that had grabbed Oh Hyeseo, a peculiar taiji shape begins to rise, enveloping my entire body like a tumor. This is Seo Huiol. I grit my teeth. Was this all planned from the start? Me going to the Black Ghost Valley, where the power of the netherworld's outskirts is strong. Oh Hyeseo revealing herself and inviting us to this space. The fact that I caught and made contact with her. It seems it was all within Seo Huiol's expectations. Seo Huiol holds Oh Hyeseo in his arms, looking down at Seo Eun-hyun and his colleagues being dragged into the blood-red pit below. Originally, I intended for Miss Hyeseo to face that monster alone and only send that monster in, but it seems I'll have to send more people than I expected. To think you'd fail to achieve your goal and end up being captured in front of everyone. You're quite incompetent, aren't you, Miss Hyeseo? At Seo Huiol's words, Oh Hyeseo, nestled in his arms, rubs her head and gives a sardonic smile. You're quite remarkable too, Grand Prince. Pretending to use me as bait, ready to pop out at any moment to send my colleagues to another realm. Ho ho, it's thanks to you, Miss Hyasio, for following my thoughts so well. Because of you, I could send that old monster who had long contact with you below without resistance. By the way, how did you do that? Doesn't Miss Hyasio's soul contain the power of immortal beasts fused together? It's a spell that draws out the power of Taiji from that fusion to bind the opponent. Would you like me to teach you? You're going to teach it in a strange way again, aren't you? Ho ho, it's then. Quagwagwagwa. An immense giant of starlight reaches out from below, thrusting its hand into the space. It's Oh Hyunsuk. Oh, hi, Seo. What is this that you've done? Oh my Hyunsuk Orabioni. Why are you struggling so much? Just go down. What would your father think? Stop this at once. Ahaha, my father. Quadudaduk. And then, another giant crawls up next to Oh Hyunsuk. It's a giant of lightning with 6 arms. It's John Myong-hoon. Deputy O, is this betrayal? Red lightning flashes continuously from his eyes, and his shadow splits into 6, fluttering around him. But that's not all. Kaiea, Aewa, Ooh. A horde of ghosts numbering in thousands arise, and within their midst is an 8-foot ghost. It's Kong Minhee. You brazen bitch. I knew it ever since you secretly followed your colleague to their houses. That you're a crazy bitch. Ha ha, Miss Minnie. Don't you look crazier right now? Oh Hyasio bursts into laughter as she looks at the 3 monsters. But then, she suddenly looks below and flinches. Threads. Pure white threads of consciousness stretch everywhere, tightly binding the 3 monsters and Seo Eun-hyun, who is about to fall into the Blood-Ean realm. Kim Yun is preventing Seo Eun-hyun's fall by restraining his body. Just wait. Let's see when I get up there. John Myong-hoon mutters, red lightning crackling from his eyes. To make matters worse, a large centipede springs out of Seo Eun-hyun's peach garden painting, spewing venom. It's a scene of pandemonium, as if monsters are crawling up from the abode of demons. Omajan. Seo Huiol and Oh Hyasio, the 2 beautiful individuals, wear mask-like smiles. Ho ho, Miss Hyasio. Then, shall we exert some effort to prevent those monsters from coming up? You won't stab me in the back, right? That will never happen. For now, stay away. Oh Hyasio slips out of Seo Huiol's arms and begins to prepare a spell. Seo Huiol also emits a crimson light. Oh Hyasio creates the form of the black dragon among the immortal beasts, and Seo Huiol creates the form of a giant sea dragon. A majestic scene unfolds as if 2 divine dragons are blocking monsters from the depths of hell from crossing into the mortal world. Let's go. Seo Huiol and Oh Hyasio unleash their power upon the monsters climbing up from the abode of demons. A divine light strikes upon the bizarre monsters. Chapter 338, Old Monsters Rampage, 7. Translator, Translating Novice. Editors, Z0rel, Blumengawade, Resnut. Join the Discord for chapter updates and important news. Qua 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 qua. The dragon's form becomes a streak of light and emits divine energy into the pit below. The form of the sea dragon scatters like a spray of water and covers Seo Eun-hyun and his party. Blood sacrifice ritual, Blood-Ean returning home. As Seo Huiol forms hand seals, the attraction force from the Blood-Ean realm pulling Seo Eun-hyun's group intensifies overwhelmingly. Seo Huiol also seems to be affected by the force, but when Oh Hyasio reaches out and shrouds Seo Huiol's body with the form of the black dragon, the effect disappears. Afterward, she unleashes the form of the black dragon again, opening its mouth to spew a black breath downward. Qua 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 qua. Oh Hyasio, how could you? Oh Hyunsuk, the giant of stars, feels particularly betrayed and tries to rise upward frantically. Kugugugugu. Purple primordial chaos boils from Oh Hyunsuk's entire body. The giant of stars, Oh Hyunsuk, transforms into a colossal figure covered in purple steam. Within the purple steam, Oh Hyunsuk's fierce eyes glimmer ominously. How can you betray your own family? Oh Hyasio covers her mouth with her hand. Suppressing her laughter with all her might, she retorts. Oh my family? We're not even related by blood, so what family? Ah, that expression is so funny. As expected of such a sentimental clan. The O clan, Cuckoo. Your father raised you with genuine affection. How can you say such things? Ahaha, that couldn't possibly be true, Hyunsuk Orabioni. Father was just satisfying his own ego. I observed father more closely, so why are you acting like you know better? Or do you want to play family? Shall I call you by your proper title, youngest uncle, Jifu? Oh Hyasio laughs out loud and extends her palm towards Oh Hyunsuk. Kugugugugu. The massive form of the black dragon pours down towards Oh Hyunsuk, who ultimately fails to withstand it and falls into the pit below. Kim Yun extends her consciousness again to bind Oh Hyunsuk, preventing him from falling into the Blood-Ean realm. Well then, who shall we drop any? As Oh Hyasio looks down, selecting her next target, Flash. Kururu. Kya. 6 flags made of lightning fly, piercing Oh Hyaseo's arms, legs, the back of her head, and her waist. Kwajijik. Black clouds form in the white space, and the flags embedded in Oh Hyaseo act as lightning rods, calling forth bolts of lightning. Kwajijik. Lightning furiously rains down. Oh Hyaseo screams and tries to escape, but the flags embedded in her body flickers and press her down. John Myung-hoon, wielding 6 arms, climbs up from below with a fierce gleam in his eyes. You're quite careless, Deputy O. Thud, 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 thud. John Myung-hoon uses his 6 arms to swiftly rise up as he murmurs. I think I always lost when playing poker with Deputy O during work hours. It's my first win. Kwong. John Myung-hoon finally overcomes the attraction force and emerges from the pit. He then locks eyes with Seo Huiol standing above him. I'll tear you apart when I get up there. Wait for it. However, Seo Huiol smiles faintly and strokes his chin. At first I thought you were Taoist Yang's resurrection, but it seems not. If you were Taoist Yang, instead of stabbing Miss Hyaseo with spells and frying her with lightning, you would have immediately sacrificed Miss Hyaseo's soul to borrow the power of Blood Een and counterattack me directly. What? John Myung-hoon is momentarily stunned by such a vile method and wears a bewildered expression. Seo Huiol smiles gently. Thus, it's more accurate to consider you not Taoist Yang's resurrection, but merely Taoist Seo's pet. What bullshit is this bastard spouting? At that moment, 5 blood-red flags rise above Seo Huiol's head. Go, 5 elements blood curse banner. John Myung-hoon instinctively feels fear at the sight of the blood-red flags. He had experienced this torturous spell several times from Seo Eun-hyun, but he grins wickedly and opens his mouth. Quorum. Lightning bursts forth and turns Seo Huiol's 5 elements blood curse banner to dust. With just this paltry technique. However, while Seo Huiol had distracted him with the 5 elements blood curse banner, he approached Oh Hyaseo and pulled out all the lightning flags embedded in her body. I thought I was going to die. You've grown a lot, Section Chief John. You used to be a useless burden who did nothing but slack off at work, and now you can do this. I won't fall for the same trick twice. Oh Hyaseo forms a taiji between her hands. The white space quivers as John Myung-hoon's hand, which had emerged from the pit, appears to warp, causing the space itself to split and John Myung-hoon to fall downwards. Kagugugu. Immediately, the light of the lustrous glazed peacock strikes John Myung-hoon's head directly. John Myung-hoon, with a dazed expression, falls downward, and Kim Yun desperately holds him as well. After dropping John Myung-hoon, Oh Hyaseo looks down at those still holding on. Kim Yun, Hong Fan, Kong Min-hee. Among them, Kim Yun is holding onto Seo Eun-hyun, Oh Hyun-suk, and John Myung-hoon to prevent them from falling, and Hong Fan is supporting the struggling Kim Yun. Thus, the only one capable of counterattacking is Kong Min-hee, and Oh Hyaseo, looking at the black sphere bubbling up from below, breaks out in a cold sweat. I expected this, but that damn thing is the trickiest. Ho, that person is quite an interesting Taoist. Is that the ghostly Een transformation immortal root? No, even without it, she's a Taoist who possesses absurdly high talent. Seo Huiol reveals his reptilian eyes as he observes Kong Min-hee's ominously surging aura from below. If I had known this, I would have brought that cultivator instead of Miss Hyaseo. I slightly regret it. Ho, I guarantee it. If it were Miss Min-hee, you might have been devoured instead. Ho, impossible. She's not even the Mad Lord or the Heart Tribe. Anyway, both Seo Huiol and Oh Hyaseo raise their tension, glaring at the crazily intensifying aura of Kong Min-hee in the pit. Kong Min-hee's aura is growing. Her strength, initially at the early 4-axis stage, grows to the mid, late, and reaches the grand perfection. Kong Min-hee is absorbing nascent soul stage ghost kings in real time, building an axis made of ghost kings. Kagugugu. Above the white space, the black clouds John Myung-hoon had summoned do not dissipate but condense further, gathering heaven and earth's spiritual energy within. Heavenly tribulation stirs. However, before the heavenly tribulation can properly strike, Quaruru. A torrent of black, ghostly energy surges out of the pit. Quaruru. The ghostly energy pierces the sky. Before the heavenly tribulation can strike, it shatters and scatters in the sky. Seo Huiol's expression twitches, and Oh Hyaseo's face turns serious. What kind of insane? I see. The Blood Een Ghost Labyrinth is supporting that cultivator. Even with the power of Blood Een, this is the outer edge of the netherworld. Seo Huiol's vertical pupils glow red. Such indescribable talent. The possibility of reaching the star-shattering stage. Seo Huiol strokes his chin and then smiles brightly. That cultivator. It seems it would be best to capture her. It's too wasteful to throw her as food to Blood Een. Chua. A dense darkness spreads out from Seo Huiol. Consume 10 of myself. King. At the same time, 10 eyes appear in the darkness, staring directly at Kong Minhee. She screams. Aya. Co Huiol laughs with eyes swirling in blood-colored light. Just accept it peacefully. Unless you're a mythical being or someone already broken, you cannot resist me. Co Huiol dives into Kong Minhee's heart essence. He smiles faintly. Her heart essence is no different from a small netherworld. How many ghosts are stored here? Yet the ghosts are not going berserk and remain calm. It's unbelievable. Co Huiol gradually peers deeper into Kong Minhee's inner self and laughs. I've captured a being with talent of the ages within my grasp. While the power to stabilize ghosts is terrifying, unlike Miss Hyaseo, it's not an annoying ability. As Co Huiol examines Kong Minhee's heart essence, he suddenly notices something at the center of the ghosts. The ghosts are worshipping it. The overwhelming pressure emanating from that something is what keeps the ghosts calmly obedient to Kong Minhee. Could it be? Chills. Co Huiol has a guess on what that something is, and, although he merely guesses, without confirming its true form, he hastily tries to escape from her mind, as if he doesn't want to get entangled with that something. However, it's already too late. The entity beyond the something has noticed Co Huiol. The something is a hole. Within Kong Minhee's heart essence, there exists a hole connecting to somewhere. How dare you peek at the Imperial Venerable, Dizun? A gigantic will fills Kong Minhee's heart essence. Her heart essence, previously filled with the colors of sunset, is instantly engulfed in darkness. Co Huiol's face grows serious as he frantically struggles to escape from Kong Minhee's mind. The oldest and darkest one. The deepest and greatest one. That entity itself shows no reaction. But the one seated at its right hand bears its rage across the hole to punish Co Huiol. Boom. Huh. Oh Hyaseo dumbfoundedly looks beside her. It happened in an instant. The head of Co Huiol, who had tried to cast a spell on Kong Minhee, exploded. Co Huiol's soul staggers momentarily before dissolving into a handful of darkness and flowing down. Tingling. Oh Hyaseo tries to react, but suddenly feels her head stiffen and collapses on the spot. It isn't just Oh Hyaseo. None of those present have a good complexion. Kim Yun looks as if she is about to vomit, and Hong Fan looks up at Kong Minhee with bloodshot eyes. Co Eun Hyun, John Myung Hoon, and Oh Hyun Suk, freed from Oh Hyeseo's tricks, are also paralyzed with fear, unable to react properly. No, John Myung Hoon clenches his teeth despite his horror. It's a familiar feeling. Heavenly punishment. It's similar to that time. Aowiwok. Kong Minhee screams, clutching her head. A massive entity is trying to emerge from within her and exert their power onto this world. The ghosts beside Kong Minhee wail and merge into one. The unified gigantic Ghost King exudes the aura of the grand perfection integration stage. However, instead of showing arrogance, the Ghost King slits its own belly in a state of terror. Chwak. From the Ghost King's slit belly, a pitch-black banner emerges. With its belly split open, the Ghost King, trembling and shedding tears of fear, shouts in a shaking voice. The Chief Judge has arrived. As the Ghost King waves the banner and shouts, the group of ghosts under its command also tremble in fear and bellow in unison. The Chief Judge has arrived. Kagugugu. Kong Minhee's form begins to change. Surpassing her human form, blue ghost fire erupts from her eyes. Kong Minhee's hair flares out in all directions, undulating. Behind her, a massive shadow envelopes Kong Minhee. The colossal entity, from below the pit, gazes at the entrance of the Blood-Ean realm, still exerting attraction force on Kong Minhee and Co Eun-hyun's group. Leftover of the predecessor. Live as befits your name, and stop mimicking the noble one. If your actions continue to disgrace the noble predecessor, even if I must endure the Imperial Venerable's reproach, I will annihilate you. If you understand, hold your breath and shut your filthy mouth. The entrance to the Blood-Ean realm abruptly contracts and closes at the will of the colossal entity. The gigantic existence then looks up at the sky and mutters. Beyond the Blood-Ean Ghost Valley labyrinth created by Co Huiol, the entity seems to gaze into a distant dimension far beyond. Is the mountain about to be defeated? Once again, an imperial throne is being confined. As the gods begin to move, it heralds the return of the era of myths. The pitch-black entity looks down at Kong Minhee and mutters. Since the insect has already noticed, it's best to hasten the awakening. Oh Imperial Venerable, if we delay, the light will notice. Let us proceed immediately. Finishing its words, the shadow bows and seeps back within Kong Minhee. Ayowa. Kong Minhee wails. The colossal entity which is about to return through Kong Minhee's heart essence suddenly shifts its gaze to two suspicious beings. Behind the Oh Hyaseo, who is half out of her mind, is Co Huiol, pulling her away. And below Kong Minhee, regaining his composure and honing a sword at the plane of soul, is Co Eun-hyun. Co Eun-hyun is soaring at a fierce speed. Holding the sword of all of the heaven's natural colors, he approaches Kong Minhee, slicing through the darkness. He cleaves the presence of the gigantic existence. At the same time, he blooms a flower of curses while attempting to elevate the curse to the plane of fate, extinguishing divine, tribulating heavens. After extracting O Hyaseo, Co Huiol then casts thousands of eyes into the blood-eaten Ghost Valley Labyrinth. Tainted soul filling the heavens. Gijigigig. Driven by tainted soul filling the heavens, the blood-eaten Ghost Valley Labyrinth attempts to confine Kong Minhee. Extinguishing divine, tribulating heavens becomes the blade to sever the remnants of the enormous entity within Kong Minhee. The enormous entity returns to where it had descended and glares sternly at Co Huiol's tainted soul filling the heavens. Sinner, for the crime of daring to behold the sacred visage, Feng, I seal the eyes of your mask for 1,000 years. For 1,000 years, you shall chase nothing but darkness with those eyes. Tens of thousands, no, hundreds of millions of eyeballs behind them are simultaneously obscured by darkness. Sun and moon heavenly domain. Within the entire domain, everyone who had ever met Co Huiol suddenly feel an odd sensation and touch their heads. They all feel something rampaging inside their heads, but soon feel as if a parasite in their brains have fallen asleep. They all find it peculiar for a moment, but, since it is ultimately a good thing, they move on. Inside the blood-eaten Ghost Valley Labyrinth, the colossal entity looks at Co Unhyun. You, who knows righteousness. Though I wish to bless you, the Imperial Venerable deems it to be pointless, so I shall only take the calamity you brought upon yourself. Do not forget the heart that thinks of friends and the resolve to repent for your sins. Quadudaduk. The extinguishing divine, tribulating heavens spread by Co Unhyun shatters all at once as the entity exerts their power, leaving Co Unhyun covered in blood. Having completed their task, the gigantic existence fully returns through Kong Minhee's heart essence. And Kong Minhee, now awakened as a completely new being, roars. But Co Unhyun does not stop. Despite the extinguishing divine, tribulating heavens being shattered, and his entire body being crushed, he relentlessly flies toward Kong Minhee. Flash. As if light is swirling, Co Unhyun finally plunges the all-heaven sword into Kong Minhee's chest. Please, please. I clench my teeth and look at Kong Minhee. I don't want this life to end this way. But more than that, I hate seeing my precious people getting destroyed by the whims of such colossal existences. Kong Minhee, please, get a hold of yourself. And then, it seems as though rationality is returning to Kong Minhee's eyes. Co Unhyun. Pat it. In an instant, Kong Minhee's message flows into my mind. What? What do you know? Don't allow it. Fate is something you can resist. Kong Minhee's lips twitch. She seems to smile sadly for a moment. Kuwong. As the attraction force distorts, the pit leading to the blood-eaten realm reopens. Kong Minhee pushes me away. Thank you. With a smile, she moves towards the center of the blood-eaten Ghost Valley Labyrinth. She is to be sealed. Ironically, due to the collaboration between Co Huiol and me, she is willingly sealing herself in the center of the blood-eaten Ghost Valley Labyrinth for hundreds of years, calming herself alone. And, as she had conveyed to me, she will follow the fate given to her by the death god. Kong Minhee. I scream, trying to reach her, but I am helplessly sucked in by another attraction force she created. Not just me, but Kim Yun, John Myung-hoon, Oh Hyun-suk, and Hong Fan are all drawn into the new entrance Kong Minhee has created. I am dragged into the darkness, watching Kong Minhee gradually lose her sanity again. When I open my eyes, I realize I am floating on a pitch-black river. This is staggering. I stand up. Strangely, this river doesn't cause my body to sink, and I can stand on it as if it is flat ground. Though my feet sink a little, it's very slight. As I look around with puzzled eyes, I suddenly notice John Myung-hoon, Oh Hyun-suk, and Kim Yun submerged below the river. Master, you're awake. Hong Fan. I'm startled as I see Hong Fan by the riverside. Hong Fan's body is being devoured by a giant carnivorous plant-like creature on the riverside. Master, first rescue your companions. I will get out quickly. You can pull them up using attraction force. Got it. I hurriedly pull up my colleagues who are submerged at the riverbed. Then, dragging them to the riverside, I check their condition. Fortunately, or unfortunately, none of them have any serious issues. But where exactly is this? I slice through the carnivorous plant that's trying to consume Hong Fan and split it apart while looking around. The air is filled not with heaven and earth spiritual energy, but with pitch-black, thick, ghostly energy. It's different from the true devil realm. The eerie silence makes it feel like the side path. Hong Fan reverts to his human form and shakes off the mucus covering his body. Master, let's bring Yun-jin out first. Yun-jin. Yes, it would be good to ask Yun Wei-nim where we are. Yun Wei-nim has a lot of experience and a lot of age, so there's a lot she knows. Good idea. I take out the peach garden painting and bring out Yunjin. As soon as Yunjin emerges, he shouts, "Seriously, Senior, everything's good. But why did you take so long to bring me out? Honestly, you forgot about me, didn't you?" Sorry. Thinking back, I realize I had forgotten to take Yunjin out of the peach garden painting since crossing into the bright cold realm. Feeling immensely guilty, I apologized to Yunjin. Ugh, really? If it weren't for the ancestors' words, I would have been playing around at the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect. Jia? K. Yunjin, who was grumbling, suddenly begins vomiting blood. Yunjin. Startled, I hurriedly approach him. At that moment, Yunjin's eyes roll back, and he quickly sits cross-legged, expelling the ghostly energy around him. Seeing Yunjin's life in danger, I realize that she inside him has opened her eyes. You reckless fools, didn't you say you were ascending to the bright cold realm? Why have you come here? Yunwei. Looking at Yunwei losing her temper, I briefly explain the situation. So, you got caught up in a complicated incident in the bright cold realm and ended up here. That's right. Do you know where we are? Yunwei rubs her forehead as if she has a headache. Didn't you already guess from the abundance of ghostly energy? This is the Nether Ghost Realm. Realizing my suspicions are correct to some extent, I let out a sigh. We have fallen into the Nether Ghost Realm. Chapter 339, The Deceased 1. Editors, Z0rel, Blue Mangoade. Join the Discord for chapter updates and important news. Chapter 339, The Deceased 1. I grit my teeth and sigh. The Nether Ghost Realm all of a sudden. Co Wheel, that bastard. Since everything is ultimately Co Wheel's fault, I grit my teeth and blame him. But despite the anger, I can't just stay angry forever. I calm my emotions and start thinking about future plans. Now that I'm in the Nether Ghost Realm, there's no helping it. Let's aim to return to the bright cold realm as quickly as possible, find the disciples of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder sect, and establish the axis of longevity. Since I can't change what has already happened, it's best to do what I can from now on. Before establishing a plan, I first look up at the sky to read the celestial signs. I intend to gather information by reading the celestial energy, and then move based on that. The Nether Ghost Realm sky is dark blue. Although it seems to be daytime according to the celestial energy, the sky is a dark navy blue, and dozens of bright stars are visible. At that moment, Yunwei suddenly panics and slaps my cheek. Smack. You crazy bastard. Why are you reading the celestial energy in the Nether Ghost Realm? Close your eyes. Close your eyes and lower your head. What? Though I'm bewildered, I follow her instructions and close my eyes, lowering my head. What's going on? Damn it. I forgot that you wouldn't know about the Nether Ghost Realm and might act recklessly. Yunwei, exuding an intent of fear, slowly explains. First of all, in the Nether Ghost Realm, you must not look at the sky and try to read the celestial energy. No, more precisely, you can only do such things at night. Is there a reason we shouldn't read celestial energy during the day in the Nether Ghost Realm? I open my eyes in confusion and ask. Yunwei, with a pale face, uses sound transmission to speak, fearing someone might overhear. The stars in the sky during the day are not stars. These things are not stars, you say? Yes. The things shining in the sky right now are eyes. Chills. I understand what Yunwei is saying. Information I had previously heard from Co Huiol. Are those eyes perhaps? Yes. It seems you know. For some reason, the ones above are observing the entire Nether Ghost Realm from outside. Chills run down my spine. Co Huiol had mentioned that the entering Nirvana true persons are observing the Nether Ghost Realm to find a side path to the true immortal realm. The things floating in the sky right now are not stars. They are the gazes of dozens of entering Nirvana true persons observing this world from beyond the sky of the Nether Ghost Realm. If I had fallen into the Nether Ghost Realm without knowing anything and kept staring at the sky to read celestial energy, I might have unknowingly become a puppet of an entering Nirvana true person. Thank you, Senior Yun. I sincerely thank Yunwei for her advice. Well, it's common knowledge among the inhabitants of the Nether Ghost Realm anyway. Besides, during the night, the Real constellations appear in the Nether Ghost Realm, and their attraction force hides those gazes, so you can read the celestial energy then. At night, the energy of the Nether Ghost Realm also thickens, making it harder for them to observe. So, I should read celestial energy at night. That's right. As long as you avoid reading the celestial energy during the day, there's nothing too dangerous for someone at your level. With your monstrous skills at the integration level, there's nothing to fear below the esteemed ones. Moreover, all the esteemed ones across the realms are currently on expeditions. I nod and share this information with Hong Fan as well. What a terrifying place. By the way, why aren't my colleagues waking up? I look at my still unconscious colleagues. Although the shock of crossing dimensions is strong, my colleagues with strong vitality should have woken up by now. Could it be there's something in that river? No? Even if the river is lethally poisonous, those at the core formation stage or higher should be able to detoxify it with their life force. The reason your companions aren't waking up is because of the ghostly energy of the nether ghost realm. Thinking back, Yun Jin would have died vomiting blood if Yun Wei hadn't expelled the ghostly energy. If you don't learn the ghost path method, you'll be engulfed by the energy of the nether ghost realm and fall into a comatose state. The longer that state lasts, the higher the chance of death. What? Then shouldn't we wake them up? Indeed. However, since your companions haven't learned the ghost path method, you'll need to forcefully teach them the basics of the ghost path method through external stimulation. If they can't handle ghostly energy, they'll fall into a comatose state. I glanced down at John Myung-hoon. Then why is this bastard still sleeping? Following my gaze, Yunwei looks at John Myung-hoon and then grabs him by the collar, slapping him furiously. Smack, smack, smack. Kook-ag. A while later, John Myung-hoon spits out blood and his eyes snap open. Where is this? So this one was just sleeping. To wake the others, you need to instill them with ghostly energy to implant even the basic ghost path power in their bodies. Yes, I will do so. But first, I briefly explained the situation to John Myung-hoon. The nether ghost realm. Yes, and for now, we need to find the disciples of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect and figure out a way to return to the bright cold realm. What? The disciples of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect are? John Myung-hoon's eyes widen in surprise upon hearing that the disciples are alive. He wipes his face. They're alive. Yes, they are alive. Thank goodness. John Myung-hoon wipes his face and gives a faint smile. After conveying the plan to John Myung-hoon, I approach the other two to wake them up. Yun Wei uses the ghost path method she knows to accumulate ghostly energy in Yun Jin's body. I prop up Oh Hyun-suk and Kim Yun to a sitting position and place my hands on their backs, infusing them with ghostly energy. Woo. I consider imprinting the basic ghost path method of the Black Ghost Valley I had learned through Seo Lee. But somehow, I feel it wouldn't suit the two of them. In that case. After a moment of contemplation, I decide to create a ghost path method on the spot. For Oh Hyun-suk, I think of a ghost path method that will strengthen his body with ghostly energy. For Kim Yun, I create one that will train her consciousness with ghostly energy. I infuse ghostly energy into them according to my intended operations. After a while, the ghostly energy perfectly aligns with both of them, forming a basic ghost path method. It matches well with Oh Hyun-suk's Azure Spirit Starlight Quintessence Great Method and flows smoothly without any conflict with Kim Yun's wonderfully mysterious innate heart cannon. Soon, as ghostly energy forms within them, they open their eyes. This is, where are we, Eun-hyun? I explained the current situation to the two individuals, detailing the precautions in the nether ghost realm, such as not reading celestial energy during the day. Myself, Yun Jin, Hong Fan, Kim Yun, John Myung-hoon, and Oh Hyun-suk. The six of us discuss our future plans and decide on our goals. Our primary objective in the nether ghost realm is to return to the bright cold realm. Next, John Myung-hoon and I aim to find the disciples of the Golden Divine Heavenly Thunder Sect. And since we're already in the nether ghost realm, it might be good to establish the 5 blessings axis as well. Yun Wei, with her arms crossed, explains the true orthodox axis foundation, also known as the 5 blessings axis. As you can see, the 5 blessings axis are the proper foundation to establish. They are much stronger than the 5 elements axis. Therefore, why not establish the axis of longevity, which can be formed in the nether ghost realm? Yun Wei looks at John Myung-hoon and me as she speaks. Currently, I am at the 4-axis stage. John Myung-hoon is half a step into the 4-axis stage. Kim Yun and Oh Hyun-suk are at the nascent soul stage and the core formation stage respectively. Hong Fan is about to enter the 4-axis stage, so there's no need to worry about him. According to Yun Wei, one must be at least at the grand perfection heavenly being stage to perform the axis foundation ceremony. Hence, it will be difficult for Oh Hyun-suk and Kim Yun to establish their axis in the nether ghost realm even if they want to. Is it really necessary to establish these 5 blessings axis? John Myung-hoon asks, seemingly uninterested. Yun Wei replies as if stating the obvious. Of course, the 5 blessings axes are overwhelmingly stronger than the 5 elements axes and are the true orthodox axis foundation handed down from ancient times. Moreover, establishing the 5 blessings axes makes it easier to advance to the integration stage, and once you reach the integration stage, the stability of the domain you form will be on a completely different level. After listening to her, John Myung-hoon thinks for a moment before his eyes sparkle. But Ancestor, didn't you say that establishing the 5 blessings axis takes much longer than the 5 elements axis? And without a thorough understanding of the 5 blessings, it's far more difficult to establish them, practically forcing one to undergo understanding before breakthrough. That's true. On the other hand, if one uses the heterodox axis foundation for the 5 elements axis, it can be established in less than a week. Well, it's not impossible if you have the skills, but are you planning to conduct the axis foundation ceremony with the 5 elements axis? John Myung-hoon nods. If I can establish the 5 blessings axis, I will. But if not, I plan to establish the 5 elements axis and quickly raise my cultivation. Why is that? John Myung-hoon takes out a wooden box from his bosom and strokes it with gleaming eyes. Because I need to quickly become stronger. Crackle, crackle. Subtle red lightning sparks around him, pushing away the surrounding ghostly energy. I need to become stronger as soon as possible, to elevate my cultivation as quickly as possible, to quell this anger. Pajajajijik, you said it's easier to reach the integration stage? Even if I roughly establish the axis with the 5 elements axis, I am confident I can reach the integration stage. Stability of the domain? Any instability can be fixed by filling it with heavenly tribulation. John Myung-hoon's eyes spark with red lightning as he steels his resolve. Yunwei, understanding yet slightly troubled, speaks. I understand what you mean. However, the quickest way to return to the bright cold realm is to open a side path, like the Black Ghost Valley did. And the easiest way to open a side path is to establish at least 3 of the 5 blessings axes and reach the late 4 axis stage. I'm puzzled by her words and ask, can't we just ask the Black Ghost Valley to help us return to the bright cold realm? If you had come to the Nether Ghost realm through the Black Ghost Valley side path, that might be possible. But didn't you say you fell here by accident, not via the Black Ghost Valley? If you had come through the Black Ghost Valley, you would have the dream body provided by the Nether crossing ship. She clicks her tongue and continues. There are 4 major forces in the Nether Ghost realm. They are collectively known as the 3 palaces and 1 island, Sangong Yidak. The first is the Black Ghost Palace, Heisur Grigugong. It's the main sect of the Black Ghost Valley. It's a sinister and secretive group with a reputation for being extremely closed off. While the branch in the Bright Cold Realm is somewhat lenient in order to quickly expand its influence, the main sect is different. It's said to be extremely closed off due to many hidden secrets. The second is the Underworld Ghost Palace, Yomingrigo. It's the most widespread force. The Underworld Ghost Palace is the most famous in the Nether Ghost Realm, and its power and influence are immense. Research on ghost path methods and devilish arts are actively conducted there, so the methods that spread from there influence the entire Nether Ghost Realm. More than 80% of the methods in circulation in the Nether Ghost Realm come from the Underworld Ghost Palace. The third is the Flower Painting Western Heaven Palace, Watu Shi Tengong. In the ghostly energy-filled Nether Ghost Realm, they are lunatics who practice the righteous path method of vanquishing evil and upholding righteousness. Antagonistically in the Nether Ghost Realm, they gather life force and the power of vanquishing evil and upholding righteousness, which is extremely effective against the creatures of the Nether Ghost Realm, making them a very powerful group. Rumors abound that they are connected to the ones above, so it's best to avoid getting entangled with them. And lastly, the Punlai Island, Punladok. I'm puzzled by the familiar name. That name is similar to Punlai Palace? From what I've heard, Punlai Island also follows the same mountain god as Punlai Palace. The Punlai Island in the Nether Ghost Realm knows about the Punlai Palace in the Bright Cold Realm, but they have no interest in each other. They share the same name and founder, but do not care about each other, making them an unusual group. However, it's known that the Punlai Island here practices a devilish art rather than the Great Mountain Splitting Emperor technique. Hearing the name Punlai reminds me of the name I saw within Han One's heart essence. Chionare Tinlo. A being with a name that means the net of heaven. The name, Punlai, which exists everywhere in the Middle Realms, feels like a net to me. If Punlai is a net, what is it trying to catch? I ponder for a moment. Then it happens. I almost look up at the sky, but remember Yunwei's warning and stop. What's this? It seems to have gotten darker. Apparently, it isn't just me who feels something strange as John Myung-hoon, Kim Yun, Oh Hyunsuk, and Hong Fan also tilt their heads in confusion. Hong Fan asks me, Master, doesn't it seem like everything around us has gotten darker? Yes, I feel it too. I extend my consciousness to check if there are dark clouds, but there's nothing above us. Kim Yun and John Myung-hoon also feel uneasy and tilt their heads in confusion. It feels like this whole world has gotten a bit darker, right? Is it just our imagination? Yunwei also tilts her head. What phenomenon is this? Even the head realm seems a bit darker. Bright Cold Realm. At the summit of Heavenly Lotus Mountain, above the White Jade Pavilion, Sacred Master Baek Woon groans with a trembling voice. Kugugugugu. The entire Heavenly Lotus Mountain shakes. Simultaneously, the spiritual energy of the entire mountain starts to flow erratically. No, it isn't just the Heavenly Lotus Mountain. All the mountains in the bright cold realm that Sacred Master Baekwoon is aware of have their energy disrupted. Sacred Master Baekwoon looks up at the sky with trembling eyes and speaks. Has that tyrannical one finally been confined? But the sky has darkened slightly. Does this mean that even they have sustained a critical injury? How could this be? Did that tyrant hide such power? This is a sign similar to when they were cornered by vast cold 500,000 years ago. With a worried expression, Sacred Master Baekwoon bites her lip and adjusts the attraction force of the entire bright cold realm, her eyes gleaming. If they have sustained a fatal injury and gone into seclusion, the protection of the bright cold realm blessed by them will also weaken. We must be even more vigilant. Having said this, Sacred Master Baekwoon re-enters the white jade pavilion. Wying. The light emanating from the pavilion sweeps across the entire bright cold realm. Is it just a celestial phenomenon? After being on high alert with nothing happening, I finally relax. Yunwei also loosens her expression. Well, if it's a celestial phenomenon happening on a universal scale, there's nothing we can do about it even if we understand it. Let's not worry and continue our conversation. Anyway, this nether ghost realm is filled with such forces. Each force is extremely wary of each other, and outsiders are always suspected of being spies for the opposing forces. In other words, it's like how everyone in the bright cold realm thinks everyone else is a spy from the Heart Tribe. Exactly. So, abandon the thought of using a side path from the other forces. The best way is for one of us to accumulate the 5 blessings axes and open a side path ourselves. Upon hearing this, John Myung-hoon looks at me and speaks. Then, it's best for you to accumulate the longevity axis or whatever it is. What? You're the most talented among us. Yunwei nods in agreement. That's right. You are the only monster here with power comparable to the integration stage, so it's best if you build the longevity axis. Even Han 1 took thousands of years to reach the integration stage, but it took you less than 100 years to get there, didn't it? And the attraction force I sense from you. I don't know when you built it, but you've already established the axis of wealth as well. If it's you, you should be able to accumulate the axes and open the side path in no time. With a hopeful expression, Yunwei pats my shoulder. We have high hopes for you. You are our only hope, Seo Eun-hyun. On the first day of arriving in the Nether Ghost Realm, under the hopeful gazes of Yunwei, John Myung-hoon, Oh Hyun-suk, Kim Yun, and Hong Fan, I become everyone's hope for returning to the bright cold realm.